Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Smart Poker YouTube channel and another episode of Sundazed and Confused, number 50. Almost to the year mark, huh? A couple more episodes. We appreciate everybody for stopping by and hanging out in the chat. And I want to give a shout out to my wife here beside me, as well as our special guest today, Mr. Art Man from Cocoa for Cannabis. He's a good friend of ours and been very involved lately in the community, long-time grower and new to YouTube and stuff. So we thought it'd be fun to get him on here and pick his brain, check out his operation, and have a good time, hang out and smoke. So thank you for being here. And Crispy, you want to tell everyone hello?
Hello, everybody. I'm so happy to be here with Heartman. This is going to be an awesome show. I've been looking forward to this. It's always fun hanging out with all of you in chat. Everybody in chat, I see a lot of the same familiar faces, and it just feels like family. I'm happy to be here. How you doing today, Art Man?
Doing great. Fantastic. Thanks for having me.
Oh man, thanks for coming by. I always tell people this, Art. It's not an easy thing. Well, some people, I guess it's easier than others to come on and share your private, personal space with the public and, and put yourself out there. Because let's be honest, some people in this community can be tough. So to put your grow out there, you open yourself up for trolls, ridicule, and everything else. So I think it's a cool thing. We all don't come from that mindset. We come from the mindset of collaboration and everything else, but it's out there, man. And we would be ignorant to ignore it. So I want to say thank you for bringing letting us come into your home and take a walk around. And I see you got some of your, some friends of yours in the chat there. They might be their first time here. So you're bringing out the people, man. We appreciate it. So without further ado, we'll go ahead and send it over your way. Now, I do want to warn you, if you don't mind, I might want to interrupt you during some of this and kind of get a little further explanation. Is that all right?
Not a problem. Not a problem at all.
Just curiosity. I'll let you start where you want. I see green back there.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to start over here anyway at the beginning. Everybody wants to. Now, if you're like me, I want to see what everybody uses. I always love to look at behind the scene. So
you got your
start at the beginning. My cloner, I got a mini cloner. I can do up about half a dozen at a time, but my state has a 5 plant count limit, so I stay under that. So it's just a fluorescent. Works pretty good. 100% on clone, so I do pretty good. Get you over here, show you the whole place. Everybody wants to see it.
Oh yeah.
You got a new press right there. Yeah.
You got a nice area for all your stuff. It looks like you're not really crammed in. You got some times, at each place.
Not too bad.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you. I like it.
Thank you. And the reason I'm called Art Man, I'm going to introduce you to a friend of mine here. This is a watercolor portrait.
Oh wow.
Did you paint that?
I did.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
Beautiful. That is amazing.
I thought it was because your first name might have been Arthur. I never thought about it.
Wow. I am Art Man. So, but that was from 1998. I don't do much painting anymore because I have spasms in the back. Well, you know how that feels, don't you, Smart?
I do, man. I'm having a bad back day after yesterday working in a low basement. I was bent over because I'm so tall, picking up shit, and I pulled something, and yeah, it sucks. But yeah, that's an amazing portrait.
I know. You know what? It looks like a photograph almost. Like from that angle, it looks.
It really
it's
does.
Amazing.
It does.
It's a watercolor painting, so
it's the shadows on her face or something that really makes her seem to come alive.
You capture her. It's just amazing. That's just
the name of that show. The name of the show that I had a show in Peoria, Illinois, and the name was Light and Shadow. That was the title. So there you go.
Hey, Art Man, I had the screen messed up, man. We have to start all over again.
Oh no.
Yeah, listen, I was messed up. I had it on speaker instead of gallery.
Gallery.
I'm on gallery.
Did anybody see anything?
Yeah, they saw some of it, but every time I opened my fat lips, it cut you off there. So now I believe it.
Okay.
All right. Now
where should I go?
Let's go back to the cloner.
They want to see.
Go back to the cloner. Okay, we'll start from. Got a cloner.
Sorry.
See, you were nervous you were going to mess up, and look at us, man. Oh, look.
There you go. Hey, you're not a computer guy, neither am I. So, anyway, Little cloner, you do about a half a dozen at a time. You're
And
real
you
good at it.
got a little light blocker there to kind of like direct some of that down and keep it off of.
Actually, I sit over here and I don't want to be blinded by the light.
Okay. I was thinking,
That's
is it
all.
like is he blocking out a reservoir or something that I'm not seeing, you know?
No, I just sit over at the other place, and that's one of the lights that blinds me. So I just put that little shade on it. That's all. So anyway, people love the shelf with all the product. I always look behind people, like I said before. So I'm nosy. Anyway, got the press. And did anybody see the picture of the painting?
I think they just caught a glimpse. Now you're on the big screen, brother.
All right, well, let me just move her in there. It's a friend of mine. And of course, yes, he is high.
Ah, ah, ah.
And I was high when I shot the picture.
That's pretty cool, man.
Anyway, that is why I'm called Art Man.
So you took a picture and then painted that from the picture?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I take a picture and then I paint the watercolor painting from it. Some of the layers the darks are 50, 60, 70 layers. They got to be dried between each one. So it's it's anal. Let me tell you, it's incredible. And it's extreme detail. So I got to hold my arm up like this for hours, and that spasms my back. There you go. That's the problem.
Boy,
that's just amazing. Your talent.
Thank you.
So you're multi-talented at growing and creating beautiful works of art, both in the garden and on the canvas.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Artistry, anyway, the way it's spilling over, doesn't it? From one hobby to another, it seems like. All right.
Here are my new girls. Whoops. Get the sun out of the way. There we go. New girls getting ready to go in. What I do is I'm using, I'll show you this is an ebb and flow, what it is. It's the most simple hydroponic unit you can use. I pump a timer in the bottom reservoir, pumps it up to the top, and then it reaches an overflow and flows back down.
That's pretty cool.
That is
It's old school, really old school.
So you've been using this for a long time.
Yeah, absolutely. The flower room, I had an ebb and flow in there, but I was height challenged. I kept hitting the ceiling. So I had to find a way to eliminate the reservoir height. And it was that reservoir actually. So it was that tall. And by eliminating that, going to a smaller, flatter reservoir or a tray, it works better. And eliminating the reservoir altogether, I put it in the other room. That all, my hand. And that also cools down your reservoir when you have it in the other room. You don't have your light, the heat from the light, the humidity, all that kind of stuff. So, anyway, I grow in these square pots that I made myself out of just plastic pots.
Oh, yeah.
A hot roofing knife. There's a reason.
Oh,
there is a reason.
I use man.
Go on.
No, I was going to say I have my wife's laughing because I have a couple of those in the basement. I use them for ripping caulking out. That little knife, like a.
Oh yeah.
I don't know what they're used for really, but that's a hell of a good.
It's roofing. It's a roofing for cutter, a cutter for roofing. But anyway, I make these pots myself, but there's a reason because I've got a stack of the round ones. You can buy them, but when I put these big plants in there, they pull this thing out. The square ones wedge, the round ones pop right up.
Oh, okay.
That's the only reason I use these square ones. It's a pain in my butt. But anyway, here are 2 Flow OG plants.
Nice.
There's my little velvet punch from Jack Greenhouse. He sent me some seeds. And here we got a Harlequin, is a CBD plant. It's supposed to be a sativa. Well, I'll tell you what, those are some fat, short. I don't know. It's really tiny.
Yeah.
That's the next run.
I could see why you'd be perplexed by the looks versus the description on that one for sure.
Right. Well, I bought them and I didn't mean to buy a tall one, but I noticed after I'd gotten them that they're 7 feet plants. So Like, yeah, 7 foot's a little too tall, but I'm going to do it anyway and crop it and top it. Oh, anyway. And I'll take you into the other room.
Nice. All right. This is where it all bats. Oh, look at that.
That is amazing. That is amazing.
One thing I'm noticing is a downside of this gallery view.
Yeah.
I can only see this in a small picture on my screen. It makes it hard for me to get detail. Go for it.
Exactly. This 1, 2, 3, 4 of these, that's all on one plant. This runt right there. The rest of it, everything behind there is all one plant. That whole thing back there, all of those buds is all one thing. Oh, I forgot to tell you how I do it. I take these when they get really big roots.
There you go.
Really nice roots. They're fat roots.
Yep.
These are cut, so I can cut these ties and spread it open and pull the whole plant out. A big root mass. I mean, these things.
Yep.
One thing about the ebb and flow is they generate roots like crazy. And then I bring them in here and get a cut out right
Oh, cool. Yeah.
here. That's also top riveted in roots, no trauma. Bring them in here. And I'll take you around.
Yeah, dude.
These are the girls.
Hey, I imagine how.
I'm just amazed. That is just, you're doing such an awesome, amazing job. And I wanted to say that Z06 Supervet in the chat is doing the ebb and flow. If I'm remembering correctly, that him and his wife are putting a brand new setup together, and they're doing that. I just don't see very many of that. It looks like you're doing a great job.
Yeah, this is old school. Actually, my inspiration comes from NASA. I read a article back when I was a teenager, young teen, and they had a hydroponic setup, and it had a tomato plant, and it made just an obscene amount of tomatoes. It was over a ton, I think, but it just stuck with me. So
they look great.
Nuggets, all they're fat. They're solid as hell. They're just so solid. All the larf is. That's the improvement from the HLG, the LEDs from my high pressure sodium. I had twin 600s in here, and the larf on this is so much. Even the larf down here, this stuff here down here in the shade is solid as hell. I suppose that has to be it.
Yeah, I would say that our good friend Doc MJ has told us many times that to get those hard buds low, you have to be able to keep the perfect amount of bud sites for the amount of light, usable light that you're feeding them, and as long as we keep those in tune, I think we end up with nice solid buds all the way down. Well, and I see what you're saying. You switched over from 2 600s. Now, what do you got? The 2 HLGs there?
No, this is a one. It's a 650 Scorpion. Let me see.
Is that the Diablo R spec?
No, it's the Scorpion R spec. I have a Diablo, I had it in here. Thing was too powerful. It smoked my plants. I could never get an even light map. I could never get the periphery to have anything above, say, 400, and the middle would be like 9. It was just terrible.
Well, growing in an open,
I'm sure that you can use them higher if you have more space. Yeah, I know a friend of mine from Dean over there. I think he's got 2 of them, and he does a wonderful job. But I think he has more space than me, at least height. I think.
When you have open walls like you kind of do there on 2 sides, you don't really have white. That you kind of lose a good bit of overspill there. You don't really get any reflective bounce back or anything like that.
Right.
So it's going to be overspill. And I don't know how much. It's hard to tell from the picture or from the camera there. But dude, whatever those lights, that one light's pumping that square quite nicely. Like you said, all your lower buds are hard and shit. You can't ask for much more than that. Look at all that medicine.
I know.
Well, I'm down to about 75% on the light. I can't turn it up any higher. It's strong. And I do run CO2, but you'll see right there, my little chain in the wall is empty because over the Thanksgiving weekend, nobody had any. So I ran out this week, but the ambient in this room during the day is usually about 750, 800.
Okay. Doc's actually in the chat right now, and he's mentioned that you're probably getting more usable light from that one fixture there than you did from both of the old fixtures. And that just is an ode to the efficiency that we've come in a long ways, you know, the amount of usable light we're able to extract from each jewel, you know, seems like it's just been leaps and bounds. Makes you wonder where the roof and the ceiling is in the lighting industry, but that's a whole other show.
Yeah, it is. You can have Doc do another video.
Yeah, those videos are pretty cool, aren't they? Very informative. We've talked about this, Art, man. I think you agreed that sometimes those videos will open up just as many questions as they do satisfy answers, you know?
Absolutely.
I gotta say, I love that grow space and the walls. What you got on the walls? You said that was like an insulated, like I know that
it's a bubble wrap.
Yeah.
It's a bubble wrap. I didn't put it up there for reflection though. That's just for the temperature because it gets kind of cold on that wall. Now come spring, I'll probably peel it off because the cold wall is a plus. Keeps the room cool.
Right. Yeah, I like that. That's what I was going to ask. Like for the insulation purposes, I'm sure that's a big benefit just to have. It acts like a cooler insulator.
Hell yeah, especially in
so.
a colder house.
It's brand new. Yeah. This was a coal room at one time. There was a coal chute behind that wall, and they had a big furnace, you know, one of those octopus things that shoots coal to. So this was the coal room. Now it's the garage.
There's probably a little hatch outside your house somewhere still that has a local foundry written on it. I always get a kick out of reading. Those hatches are always
we got a lot of them around here.
Yeah, yep. My old man,
you got
coal, man.
You live in this old.
My old man still burns coal, but he only does so out. He gets that smokeless shit. I forget what they call it, but only burns it, and he gets like a 5-bay garage. And I tell you what, it gets so hot in there, even in below zero, that coal just burns so hot. It's very efficient, but dirty and stinky, you know?
It is. Yeah. I wouldn't want to go back to that. That's for sure.
There's a lot of bituminous digging around these parts, man. I think that's what they, I forget the name of that smokeless coal, but it's the anthracite or something like that.
I believe you're right. Yeah. It's a harder coal.
We really get that shit cranking in there, and it's some comfortable heat. It gets a little dry, but
it's nice when it's like really cold outside. You can hang out in a t-shirt.
That smell makes me nostalgic too.
Oh yeah.
Look at me. You brought up something that got me clear off the topic. So let me tell you. Now you got 2 plants in there carrying all that load, and
oh yeah. Well, one plant really. The one in the front it's just a runt. It's not producing very much at all. I should have left it out, honestly. But that's the low profile I was talking about. It's only like, oh no. There we go. It's only about, say 7 inches, I think.
Yeah, that's
a 6-foot room. That's a lot.
7 inches deep, and with that whole footprint. Now, just so everybody can get a clear understanding, and let's be honest, for my own understanding, I just want to make sure I have this right. So inside that black tote that's 7 inches deep, what is that? A 4x4 square or something? 3x3? What is
44 inches? 44 inches by 44 inches.
Okay, so just a couple of 4 inches short of that. So let me think, what was I going with that? Oh, so you have the water, you have like you have a reservoir somewhere, right? That's pumping into there?
Yes.
Okay.
I use synchronized timers. One in here. And we'll go into the other room. And one up here.
Check you out, Art.
That's cool.
Oh yeah. I put all this stuff in too. I'm really proud of myself. My
You should
My
be.
stepkid,
Awesome.
my stepson hooked it up to the box. So, but anyway,
I gotta say, the first thing that I see that scares me is plugins directly above that much water. I always like to have this off center. I'm just saying, I'm not picking on you, but I'd be very
no,
careful. Don't hold your
I have
radio.
no concerns.
Don't hold your
I
radio.
don't have any, no.
You've seen too many of those old school movies where the lady's in the bathtub and the serial killer comes to the radio and throws it right in.
I do, and it makes me scared.
So,
I gotta be honest, because mine's the same way, bro. I got a
Uh,
box right above where my things are. I'm thinking
we are always careful.
of all the places I should have set that box up somewhere. So I had plans on moving it. But dude, you got a beautiful setup there. I see. Looks like.
well, let me show you. Let me show you. You got the RO.
Wow.
Hold on, go back for 1 second. I'm sorry, it's taking me a minute to focus here.
Yeah, we want to like really see that.
Okay.
So what's
Reverse osmosis filter. This is the one with the carbon. It's a special one from Hydrologic.
So is that why there's two cups hanging down? I can't read that.
Oh, one's for sediment, the other's for carbon.
Okay.
I don't know much about these. I don't really know much about RO filters. I just like the water. That's all.
I appreciate that, because I'm just curious. I don't use. I use tap water too.
Yeah, I like the filtration system.
And then we go over to the what is it, a 55-gallon drum or barrel. Got one spigot going into my laundry tub, one spigot going right into there, into the reservoir.
Dude, that's
And
so,
I have the pH doser.
the blue light.
I love that thing. Love it.
That is freaking amazing. I'm so jelly, but in a loving, I'm so glad you got this. And yeah, that's awesome.
So what do you have that? You have your pH doser hooked up to up and down, or just down? How's that work?
Oh no, just down. I had one hooked up in this other spot here for up, but it came on so rarely that I went ahead and
The only
took it
time
over here. I put it in on my veg. So I got one in here too. So I've got both of them have pH doser, and that's wonderful too.
The only time I ever use pH up art is whenever my wife makes a mistake and goes too low, and I have to come in and correct it. I use the potassium bicarbonate crystals.
How many times have I done that? You go up a little too far, you go down a little too far. I used to call that the dance.
Well, you know, once you do the dance one way too far, I always feel like this. If I go too low, I can bring it back up. That's it. You can't make another mistake and readjust, because then you break some sort of hydrogen barrier and the shit goes crazy and it just gets whacked. I learned that early on, that be careful, take your time. That's for me. I be careful. I take my time and I add that potassium bicarbonate.
I'm going to leave it to her.
Really slow. Yeah, man. I always
She'll take care of me.
All the mistakes go to my wife, man.
Yeah, hashtag blame it on Crispy. I fixed it. I can take it.
That's not right. Anyway.
Hey, man, Art, man, she's my big toe. Without her, I wouldn't have any balance in my life, brother.
You know what I do?
Oh, I understand that.
When I do make the mistakes in the grow room, Smart is very kind. Even when I kill plants, he wipes my tears, tells me it's going to be okay, and the next grow is going to be twice as killer as that one could have been.
Yes. And then sometimes, let's be honest, it's opposite. She has to tell me, it's all right. You messed up. We're seeing it. Because I'm in there like, I'm such an idiot. Because I get mad at myself for making dumb mistakes. I always tell people at work, I have a low tolerance for stupidity. So that's probably why a lot of people don't want to work with me. But it's just, that's how I am, man. And we take this very passionately, like you do, obviously. Look at the time, money, investment, and how much you care about your plants. Look at the results that you're getting from the other room there because of all this working together,
Yeah, I think that people want to know about your res. Do you leave that uncovered? Is it chilled?
Yeah, pretty much. I have too many hoses and stuff to cover it.
Okay.
So, but I do.
So how long's one of those last before it gets regenerated? Is that a fair question, or is it always?
Sure, absolutely. 2 weeks probably. But I top it off. This thing is drinking so much. I can't really see the lines on the side of the reservoir, so I can't tell you exactly how much, but I swear it's got to be 3-4 gallons a day. It's crazy amount. I mean, they just
Yeah.
drink. The transpiration is off the scale. That's my main problem, honestly, is humidity from the plant it's just going crazy. So, but that's a good thing.
What they say, looking
Yeah,
at your plants,
that is.
what they say, non-cardinal factors, and it seems like you're hitting all of them, man. And I think that's the whole ticket when you're really seeing them. Sometimes ours will dry up on us in the cocoa, and then they'll
Yeah.
and I think to myself, well, we must be doing something right because they're really processing some liquid here, and man, that's a nice setup. But I'm surprised it lasts 2 weeks. Now this bears the question in my mind: what do you put in there? Beneficials, HydroGuard, H2O2. What do we got?
I got my Jax.
He's got
Jax 321 now.
Yeah.
I used to go with General Hydroponics. Now I got Jax 321. And my wife made these labels for me. You can see them from space.
I was
I love it. I like that.
I got one of the phones with a real big number too, huh?
And this is my mixing area. I've got I was tired of doing it with spoons, so I made this little it's just a frame of PVC with 2 water pumps on it, pointed kind of at an angle. You just drop it in there and plug it in and let it run, and it mixes it up.
Oh, that is cool.
That's a homemade stir, man.
I love those.
It is.
Homemade.
That one's on my YouTube channel too. I got one on clones and one on them. So
we'll see if we can get in the chat to maybe share your link to your YouTube so everybody can jump on the art.
Oh my God. Well, it's really amateurish. I'll warn you right now. I'm not, I've got some videos on there, but I'm not a videographer.
Amateur.
So,
you've been to
just warn you. And there's my chiller. I got a chiller.
Okay.
Aquarium heater keeps it warm now. I got the chiller is disconnected right now because the floor is nice and cold. So I'm going to have to go with the aquarium heater in a Pyrex dish. That was the important part because those aquarium heaters can get hot.
Yeah.
So it warms it up nicely, keeps it right at 69, 68. So and now I'm going to take you over into my drying room.
I'm curious, man. How cold would that reservoir get, man, if you didn't have a warmer?
Oh, I don't know. Probably, I bet you it's in the upper 50s anyway.
Really? Okay.
Maybe mid 50s. Yeah. Well, you got to realize my basement is pretty deep, so it only gets so cold.
Yeah.
So
good deal.
Anyway, back to the drying room. Got my ink bird. Everybody's got an ink bird, and apparently a bag of grass seed. Here it is, though.
This show's all about grass, man.
Yeah.
This is my room. Come on. I brought in a bunch of this foam panel stuff and enclosed this. This whole wall is a shelf covered with vinyl, double layers. But anyway, I came in with this stuff. Made myself a room, little door. Got my ink bird outside. Got a dehumidifier. Got a humidifier. Got a fan on the floor, pointing away from the buds, of course. And I have my ink bird sensor, and I also have these pulse monitors. I got one of these in here so I can check it on the go, from my phone. And I have.
I didn't know he's going to such a. What's that, buddy?
What's that? I got 13. I got 13 wires.
Wow.
All the way across. And I filled it up last time. So
you're hanging wires. Okay.
Yes, indeed. And this is a climate controlled room. So, and I'm using Grove bags now. They seem to be doing pretty good. I don't see any damage.
Our friend Helidoc was using those and said he really enjoyed the product that he was getting out of them. And actually, I haven't heard really too much any bad things about them.
Yeah, I've only heard good things about them, especially for like people with arthritis and that sort of thing.
I have a hard time with the jars.
The jars can be laborious and,
I think they breathe too. Like they're like more, you don't have to open.
I don't know how they do it, but they kept the humidity. It says between 58 and 62%. And right now it's probably about 59. So it's doing okay. And of course, every room has a smoke alarm.
Yes, very important.
Well, my dad lost a house, so I kind of, I kind of think of that just with the clothes on his back. So that's about
Oh,
it.
that makes you hypersensitive to the fire alarm. I can
Yeah.
understand. We always tell people that we keep our fire alarms in there. Now they have them without batteries. It's a 10-year deal with the license we got.
Really?
We also like to keep a good fire extinguisher on hand and make sure that it stays in the good charge level. It'll have a little dial on it, and there's a green zone, good charge, and it's very worthwhile to do. And we always stress this. Like, I know it's for everybody, but especially if you have little kids in your house or maybe older
everywhere.
so fast, you have to be super, super sensitive about the fire risk because we do run a lot of electricity for these grows. And maybe sometimes that's something that gets overlooked in our overzealousness to try and pump out a product or have get the most yield per square foot as we can. You got to kind of always remember in the back of your head about the electricity, the fire hazards, and the
have a plan in play. Just know your exits too, and have just in case, know where are you running if something goes down, what is your quickest exit, and
the ancillary shit that goes along with growing can be
absolutely
like just disposal of certain things and whatnot. It's always good to be mindful of that. What else you got for us, Art? I can't believe I wasn't expecting.
I was going to mention that everybody, you look at this electrical, but each one of those boxes has its own breaker.
That's the way to go.
I made sure all of these, everything has its own breaker. So It was all old wiring before. Oh, by the way, I meant to go back to the plants in the flower. I can't lift it up, but I have a picture here of the roots.
Oh, there you go.
That I do get. That's the kind of roots that I get in it. Now, mind you, this isn't in full flower because I can't lift it up. It's too heavy.
Okay. So you're probably talking double that sometimes, huh?
I'm sorry?
I said you're probably talking double that much root mass then sometimes by the time
it gets about probably 30 by 30 for if there's two plants like that, they're like a 30 by 30 mat each, probably an inch and a half thick.
I really like that system, man. And you're right. I don't see a lot of people doing that system.
No.
And
nobody does. The closest to it is recirculating deep water culture. And they just have buckets instead of my low profile tray. That's the difference. I almost went for the deep water culture, the recirculating deep water culture, but they were too tall.
Yeah. Well, that's one thing that I love about that is the low profile where the roots are at, even a 5-gallon bucket is however tall, you're talking 7 inches there. And that's pretty, a lot of home grows, one of our biggest limitations is height,
Yeah, sure is.
I wasn't expecting such a treat today with all the stuff.
I know
that dry room you have, the dry and cure room is really sweet, man. Really nice.
Yeah, it looks pretty good. So it looks like I lost the video for a second.
Yeah, it looks like I've lost your video too.
There it is. No, that was me. I messed with the button on the side of my phone. You hit a button and you're done.
you got some pre-strung yo-yos up there, huh?
Oh, I got an infestation of I got more yo-yos than Duncan. Does that work anymore? Does that joke even work anymore, Duncan yo-yos?
Yeah, it
they were a big thing when I was a kid,
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah, I should have had. This is a lesson for you.
This is the most popular yo-yo maker.
Yeah. Well, this is a lesson for you, folks. This is either a lesson on how big a plant will get if you put it in 3 foot tall from veg, but it's also a lesson on low plant count that you can put one plant in and still get lots of medicine. Now I'm growing enough for 2 people. My wife and I both have a medical card. I do concentrates and flour, and we do salve. Now here's the time when I give Mott a hard time. Last week he said that somebody was going to give him a hard time for saying THC salve didn't work when it does. It's great stuff.
Yeah, that's smart. He's not a real believer, and I think it worked. I think it would work.
I'm the type of dude that has to see it to believe it, man. And I've had different kind of snake oils before. Now, here's the thing. I believe in this plant and its healing abilities. I've just never gotten relief from almost any kind of salve or balm,
Right.
or, like my back hurts. I put that what's that shit called that freezes, biofreeze. It doesn't seem to help much, man. Like there's a lot many topicals that seem to help me, and I don't know why. Maybe it's just because I don't believe in them or something. But you're right. I would love to try.
I'm not a homeopathic medicine guy. I'm a science guy. I mean, look at that. That's NASA. Here we go. That's my thing. I'm a science guy. When I tried, when I have my root balls, when I break them up, by the time I'm done, my hands are killing me. And when I put that THC salve on, the pain is gone. Now, I'm not talking less. It's gone. Now, granted, I don't have rheumatoid arthritis. It's not going to cure anything like that. And it doesn't even touch my bulge disc pain. But for muscle pain, it takes the pain away. I know somebody who had diabetic foot pain. She cried because the relief was so good. I'm telling you, it works really well. So it's just amazing. It is. The plant is amazing. But my mom still won't try it. She will not use my salve.
I'm sorry.
Nope.
I'm sorry, Art. I took a rip from this Matanuska Thunder and it hung out, man. You mentioned the late, right as I was doing that, you mentioned the lady, she cried because she got the foot pain.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
We've had, for being on this air for only a year, we've heard so many stories on this show about people who have said that they've literally seen someone come all the way back from like stage 4 cancer, all the way up to like helping with all kinds of different things from like you were saying, some kind of certain pains. Somebody had a certain pain, but there was all these stories, Art, man, that we've heard. And it's amazing because there's a common thread there is that, this medicine, this plant does a lot more than what people might originally think. Or, if you find, here's something I've been kind of finding kind of wild is if you can search out the right, what would it be called, cultivar or strain or whatever that suits what you have ailing you, you could really pair, I guess this sounds bad, you could pair your disease with the perfect cannabis and get the most bang for your buck. And that'll be cool as we go down the line. Like, here's a perfect example. You found a lady that had diabetic nerve pain. If you knew that you used Blue Dream roots and made that salve that cured her, you might be able to do that for other folks with that same ailment. And then it gets passed along that, Blue Dream roots are the best for this. Now, I'm not sure if that's how the roots work, like terpenes and everything else. But I think you see where I'm going there. It'll be cool to get all this data packed in because of everybody sharing and collaborating, and that's how this all gets spread. And that's pretty cool. Now let me ask you, I guess I can pose that question to you, Art, man. Do you notice, like, is there differences by strain when you use that salve, or is it just any cannabis root?
Well, I don't use the root. I'm talking THC salve from flower. I use an ounce or two of flower. I'm not. Now, I have heard I've talked to some people lately who say that the roots do have other properties. I don't know anything about the roots.
You should have stopped me long ago then, because
because I've been talking to them just the last week or two, and they're encouraging me. They see the large root mass I have.
Yeah.
They say I should use it.
That's crazy because that's what I've been hearing, man, is like, roots, and you can make salves out of them, and they're supposed to.
You're on target, man.
So I just kind of, I apologize because I just assumed.
No, that's cool because I liked where that was going, because I think that there's a lot of different aspects of the plant we don't understand. So roots is cool.
It brings me to, I had a friend of mine. We make the oil, the coconut oil, and we just take it for, edibles. Well, I made coconut oil and I shared it with a bunch of my friends. And this one friend of mine, she came back and said, I used that coconut oil on my hands because I have arthritis. And she said, I get a better result rubbing it on my skin because it's too strong. When I take it, I get wrecked and I feel sleepy. But I was like, wow, that's crazy. Like, I never knew that you could do that, because she let the oil get cold. If you've ever made it with coconut oil, it gets like it's solid, and
Yeah.
then she just would rub that on her skin. I was curious though, how do you make your salve?
Well, I'm gonna have to credit my wife for most of that. She really got into it. But
Cheers to Mrs. Art, man.
Yes, here's to her.
it's a salve. This one has infused coconut oil, shea butter, coconut butter, tapioca starch makes it less oily, beeswax, and lecithin. So, but we also have some others that have some essential oils. I don't know much about essential oils. I told you I'm not a holistic person, but I mean, we got grapeseed oil, eucalyptus, jasmine, lavender, lemongrass, tea tree, frankincense, jojoba, whatever that is.
That's awesome.
But it's all starts.
I'm always willing to try something like that at least first before having to go to any kind of what do they call those, pharmaceutical biologics or whatever it is. It's like lab made shit. So it's always, with all that stuff, man, it doesn't matter whether it's magnesium or some zinc or something from, because that's mainly the stuff we buy from that owl. We get iron and different things, but anything that's like more not from the hospital pharmacy kind of deal seems to be, at least try that first, because I think a lot of times you're right, you will get some relief.
Well, the thing is, though, it's criminal that salve and other THC products are not in the arsenal of doctors' pain control, because people with mild arthritis, like I said, the pain's gone. You wouldn't be taking bunches of I don't know, acetaminophen or whatever you take for that arthritis and some other opiates. But I think it's criminal. Actually, it should be allowed. They should be able to actually prescribe it.
I agree. I think you won't get any pushback on any of that here, but I love that point. That brings up good points, man. And makes it weird how we think about that. They're totally separate when they shouldn't be. I guess it's a long road we have to go, man. And sometimes it gets daunting, doesn't it, Art, man?
Absolutely.
So now I saw you had a press earlier. I wanted to ask you about your press. Do you press? Obviously, you probably press flour. Do you make hash and press hash? Do you do a lot of sifting or anything and pressing?
I've pressed flour. I've pressed every kind of flour I have in the house. So, it's kind of maddening, but I also had some keef. I did that. It wasn't as good as I thought, because it wasn't as pure as it should be. And OCG on Cocoa for Cannabis was doing hash. He was pressing this, and Crack Baby was just talking to him. They had it down to where they pressed a piece of some keef in there in parchment paper and pulled it out, and it was perfectly brown, and he rolled it up in a little ball. It's like, oh, so I still have to try that. So, I mean, I've only had the thing for 2 weeks.
So. That's why I've been noticing, we'll be in the chat over at Cocoa for Cannabis, and someone will put this really nice looking bud up, and here comes Art Man saying, well, I'd like to put that in my press. And I'm thinking, I thought to myself, he must have recently got a press, because yeah, man, that it's pretty fun.
I never said that. I didn't say that once. I said, I want to squish it.
That's what it is. I want to squish it, man. I'm thinking,
I want to squish it.
Boy, some of the pictures that come through Cocoa for Cannabis chat are amazing, and
purpley. Oh my God, it's beautiful. It is. It's amazing.
I wanted to go ahead and take a minute. We're 45 minutes in here. This so far has been blast, Art, man, and we appreciate you again letting us do this and for hanging out with us. And there's about 60 people here, which is awesome. I wanted to say hello to the chat, and I wanted to tell everybody in the chat, feel free to share your links, your codes, and your Instagram page links or YouTube page links. If you have a show yourself or whatever, go ahead and share it in the chat so everybody else can go around the community and spread some good vibes and get all the information rounded up they can, and they take what they want and leave the rest behind. Is that how it goes? And we want everybody to feel. And then there's the link for the Art Man YouTube right there. My wife. So posted. Yeah, everybody go give the Art Man a follow.
I'm in trouble.
Maybe we'll be able to get Art Man to press some buds there or something, and he'll be posting that on his page, and I'm sure the followers are gonna come.
You got guys over there at Cocoa for Cannabis who've been doing that for years. My God, there's at least a half a dozen of them.
How about no seed grower, and he has a freeze dryer and a press and all this other stuff. He makes some of that stuff. It looks amazing.
Color. I'm like so impressed with the pictures that he posts, and like Smart said, like the pictures that are posted in live chat.
That color. It's blonde. It's beautiful.
It's like liquid gold. And
it is. It's absolutely gorgeous.
You mentioned Weed Nerd there from the chat there too. He's always pressing some sift and doing different things over there. So yeah, it's a lot of fun, a lot of good information about that. And we have a press here, but I got to say, I'm not well versed in it. I've had a lot of blowouts. I think I don't do the bottle tech stuff. I don't fold them right. But I got to say this, we've gotten some killer dabs out of pressing some of our buds and pressing some of our hash. But I often find it to be more laborious than what I want to do at the time, So I'm more of like, I want to break it out when we can have some people over and we're having a party, we can press, talk about it, and all that stuff, which doesn't happen very often here, I got to say. So,
well, maybe we can break out that press and press some in preparation for the New Year's Eve drop party that we're going to do for the New Year's Grow Challenge over at Cocoa for Cannabis. We're dropping seeds live, and maybe we'll break that out.
Hey, that brings up a good show. We could have what's called live hot off the press or something, and have all kinds of.
Now you're talking.
No, we can have
tap into some of that talent.
We'll just invite all of our friends who have a press, or if they just want to hang out while other people press, and we can talk about why we use different temperatures, why we use the micron bags we use, why we picked the press that we picked, and all this other cool shit that goes along with it. And that's another collaboration knowledge that I think, for me personally, I don't know a lot about that kind of, and here's another thing I don't understand a lot about. There's when you go to the dispensary, like in legal markets there, you'll have shatter and butter and batter and ice and diamonds and sauce. And I'm thinking, what is all that different shit? Like, how many different ways can you make this shit? And I'm assuming, like, I'm not an idiot. I know it's pretty much all about the same, but like, one's been whipped to a nice buttery finish, that one's hard. And like, why do people want these different versions? And what's the strong points of making them? And you know what I'm saying? Does that make sense? Because some seem like they might be much easier. And then there was the one that I bought. I didn't even get high off of it. It was THCA, all 100% THCA or something. I didn't even get high. It was all white powder. And I was just thinking, like, that was pretty much the end of it. Because I'm thinking, I don't even want to smoke this. I feel like I was smoking coke or something. I'm like, I don't even want to smoke this shit. I want to go back to just smoking the regular old flower. And I think we snuck a little bit of dispensary stuff with us when we went on vacation, because it was easy to take like a small little pen versus having flower. Right.
Plus, we had the medical card. God forbid something did happen where we're getting pulled over. At least we'd have, okay, this is the original packaging. This is like the original bag from the dispensary, and it's,
the best that would put up our best defense, even though we were out of state,
hedging our bets there. But yeah, I got to say, I was a little disappointed with some of the products that we were getting at the dispensary, as opposed to like what we're growing. I'm thinking, why stray when we already got the good product right there in the Canatrol? Yeah,
I think like a homing pigeon, man. I'm always going to come back to my flower and bubble hash, because that's where I live.
Now, don't get me wrong. There was we tried the Rick Simpson oil from the dispensary, and I liked it. Me and my aunt, we call it the Rex Simpson oil because that's what it does too.
Yeah,
it wrecks you.
No, it wrecks.
I go to the dispensary for their concentrates because I don't have a $30,000 or $50,000 extraction machine.
Yeah.
And so I had. You was talking about diamonds and terp sauce. I had my buddy John gave me. I had some the other day, and it's real hard and clear, and it has no taste, the diamond part. And the terp sauce is some of the best tasting stuff I've ever had. I mean, it smells wonderful. It is really great. And the buzz is just phenomenal. So there's a lot of things you can't do with it at home that they can.
And you said that was diamonds and terp sauce.
That sounds.
That just sounds.
It sounds like I want
Great.
to. I just want to sop it up with a piece of bread, man. You know, like.
Oh, it was. And I bought some live sugar myself. So
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. It's always fun to get into that stuff. And then, you know, I know that like when you press stuff at different temperatures and you get more, I don't know, I forget, more shit comes out of it. Like, because I know some people were telling me we were pressing ours at low temperatures because it always seemed to make the shit taste better, what I ended up smoking in the end. And they said, well, since you're pressing at a low temperature, you're still going to have a lot of like CBN or CBD or whatever, some other compounds in there that you don't want to lose, you know? So they were telling us you put that in with your coconut oil when you're making your oil and you'll extract a little more of this or that out of it. And I thought, what a great way to get every bit out of the medicine, you know? So I think having that press show, we could get into some stuff like that and it'd be a good time, Art. And we'd like to invite you to.
Oh, I'd love that. I'd love to see how they can turn dabs into other consumables. That'd be wonderful.
We'll get Weed Nerd and OC Guard and anybody else, OC Grower, anybody else that wants that presses a lot. Cause I know these guys oftentimes are showing off these big globs of beautiful shit. And I know our friends for Caribou Heart TV had like a hash making pressing show. They had that high and tight 420. That guy knows a lot about this shit. He was another one, man. So we'll try to maybe get him to jump in, and some of our friends from Caribou Heart. Definitely, that'll be a lot of fun. I tell you what, Art, if it's all right with you, I was thinking maybe we could, for the second hour of the show here, we could open it up to the chat, maybe invite anybody else that wants to come on. They might have some questions for you that they want to deliver straight from the horse's mouth about your grow, or they might just want to come on and smoke a fat bowl of hash and weed together with us. And unless you have some more that you want to get into.
No, that's cool. But I do want to say the reason I came to Cocoa for Cannabis was I was listening to the last Prisoner Project marathon. And everybody across the cannabis culture, you know, our community had something to do with that. So I saw you guys there. I stopped in after that. And Illinois actually has one called New Leaf, a program called New Leaf, as in turn over a new leaf.
Okay.
And if any Illinois people have interest in that, that is for expunging convictions, cannabis conviction.
Okay.
That is awesome. Thank you for bringing that up. That was an amazing thing to be a part of that.
Yeah.
That was cool. It was amazing. Yeah, all these people got together and helping all our friends. It was great.
Yeah.
And that's what it's all about. We should be sticking together and building each other up. We're all on the same side, especially when it comes to the Last Prisoner Project. We're all on the same side. We all have common goal and common ground there.
And it also expresses the line in the sand when it comes to us versus them. It's us as the growing farming community and our rights with this plant versus the government and what they think they can pose on us. And I think that's ultimately where the Last Prisoners Project, the whole crux of their thing is like, it's just wrong, man. And the way that we have to hide when we grow our plants or have a plant count or be careful who, you know, your freaking salve is illegal. Come on, man. You know, so I guess that's a whole
right
you know,
that's a whole nother show, buddy.
Yeah,
as a matter of fact, it's a marathon.
Yeah, it winds me up tighter than a snare drum some days, man. Other days I'm just exhausted and it's like I don't even so yeah, I get I definitely appreciate it. And then, you know, people live with PTSD and everything from this, from trying to garden this plant, and it changes how you live. And if you've ever been busted, it changes how you look over your shoulder. And it's just, it's not a good thing that needs to change. We need to be celebrating it, not looking at people as criminals. And, you know, change and the people will act right, man. That's the truth, you know. And
right on, brother.
Until then, they got to hear it, right? We got to give them a piece of
Yeah.
our mind and try to change what we can. I think
Yeah, if you want to throw that link up, I know that I don't want to put you on the spot, but Z06 Super Vet said earlier in chat that he is thinking about coming on. His plants are, if I remember correctly, a couple weeks old, but he has that new system, and that would be cool to see that because he's doing something very similar.
yeah, that would be cool.
You know, that would,
He
because
might-
we don't see it all the time. It would be great to see it all today.
Hey,
So if
before
you got that system, hop on.
I put that link up there, I'll do that at the 1 o'clock hour.
Okay.
I wanted to ask one if my wonderful and caring and loving wife would be so
Welcome
generous
to the barista.
talk to the barista downstairs and see if the Keurig will pump out a couple for us. And
To a coffee, but you know, the
Hey.
technology just isn't there yet.
hey, okay, I'm on the New Leaf, Illinois website right now. So before I post the link for people to come and join, I'm going to copy this link. We're going to put it in the chat, and I'm going to try to put it into the description below that will be there for all of time. So anybody listening to this on audio, you can come on over to the Smart Poker YouTube channel. If you like what you're here, you can click the like and subscribe and all that good stuff and become part of the family here. And I always tell people it's just my name on the YouTube channel, but we try to share it all together here as much as we can. The New Leaf, and we want to invite everybody to come on and be able to hang out, feel comfortable, share your growth, share your failures, share your successes, and just generally get away from life for a little bit and smoke down with birds of a feather. And it's a lot of fun. So New Leaf, Illinois, here we come. I'm going to copy the link, go to the chat. This takes me a minute, Art. I'm not quick on the
That's all right. I got one more thing here, Smart. I came here from Percy's Grow Room. That's an international cannabis site out of Britain. A lot of the people are probably in chat right now. It's also the High on Homegrown website, and they have excellent interviews. Check them out. Thank you.
Yeah, man, no doubt. Shout out to Percy's Grow Room. I'm trying to type and everything else here. We always like
I couldn't do it, Smart. I'm not a multitasker like that. I mean, I'm walking around here. I wished I could have been in chat today, but I can't do that and this.
Well, you know what? I just wrote in the chat. I promise that's a safe link. I guess I don't really know that, but I will say this. It's not, I put that link in there, and when you click on it, because I just did, it takes you right to that New Illinois website where you can get your shit expunged. And I think that's a good cause.
Great.
Thanks for bringing it
Fantastic.
up. And now what I can do is go and, give me 1 second, brother. I'm going to go steal it and put it in the description real quick, but I have to do that from the computer. It's weird how I have this all set up. I'm on my phone, Art, man. I got my computer going back and forth between Zoom and the YouTube studio to be able to get live. And sometimes it gets real hectic, brother.
I keep losing. I want to put you in this damn thing I made for holding my camera, but I can't get it in there without killing the picture. We are having technical issues. Please stand by.
Let's see here. Whoops. You still there, Art?
Yes, I am here. You did not cut me off.
Okay. I'm trying to copy the link and I keep clicking on the damn thing and open up YouTube windows, windows I don't want. All right, we're at the 1 o'clock hour. I hear the old, let me see. Son of a bitch. I can't figure it out. We'll get it later. I'll have to get it.
Don't worry about it.
I'll get it. Well, I was trying to put it in the description below, but for some reason, when I try to put it up there, it's not copied and paste what I thought it was copied and pasted. But anyhow, we're going to get this other link because I know I can do that one quick and easy. Invite. We'll put it up there for our friends. What strain is that you got right there?
This is Flow OG.
What is it?
The slow part was from DJ Short. Oh, that was good. And the OG is number dankness, House of Dankness, #1.
Okay. So do you happen to know? All right. So that's what is it again?
Flow OG.
Slow OG.
No, Flow FLO.
FLO. Flow
There you
OG.
go.
Okay.
OG.
So
Flow OG.
do you happen to know the cross to make that?
Yeah, I do actually. It was the Flow was by DJ Short. He used Afghan indica crossed with purple top. The rare dankness that was crossed with this to result in the Flow OG was the parents are Phantom OG, no, Ghost OG, Chem Dog, and Triangle Kush. The Triangle Kush was a clone only strain, and for some reason they backbred that to Chem Dog. So there you go. It was. I mean, the genetics are impeccable.
I was just thinking like that must be giving off a hell of a smell. Now you've grown this more than once, right?
Oh yeah, I've had this strain for several years. I've been running clones of this for a long time.
Okay. And any distinct smells coming off of it? I'm not good with the stuff.
Gosh, I'm terrible at describing them. All I know is it's wonderful. I come here in the morning, I open the door, and it hits me like it's like, oh my God, it's beautiful. I'm terrible, you know. People talk about dirty socks and all that stuff. I don't know.
Well, you know what? You brought up clones. We're talking clones. Nobody's rang the doorbell yet. I have a subject on my mind lately that I've been pawning over, and I'm wondering if maybe you, Art Man, or if the chat may be able to help us. It says 658 people, which is really cool, and we appreciate everybody here. So that's a lot of heads together. I feel like I can get this question out there and get some really good
collaboration.
Yeah. So let's see here. How do I want to say it? Here comes seed person one. Nice. All right. So while he's getting hooked up, do you ever notice? Let me ask you this first, Art Man. You've been growing for years. I know that. I'm assuming that you've grown just as many plants from seeds as you have from clone.
Actually, I've always had difficulty from seeds. I just learned another person over at Cocoa for Cannabis, HPD, gave me a few tips that have helped me greatly with seeds. I've always had trouble with seeds. I've grown about a half a dozen autos, but because I have difficulty with seeds, you know, autos, if you don't start them off immediately right, you're off, you're in the hole, you know. So, but clones, I can do clone. I get 100% on clones. I can't remember the last time I killed a clone. So I wish I could get clones, clean clones, man, clean.
Yeah, it's always a scary thing when I think about accepting clones from anyone. I don't care if it's my brother, my uncle, whoever. I don't want to take nothing outside the house, you know?
Well, you know, Flow OG, I got a knock on my door. I answer it. It's a friend of mine. He's grinning like crazy. I'm thinking something's going on here. He comes in, he opens up his shirt or coat, and he pulls out 3 cuttings. Flow OG, San Fernando Valley OG, and cheese. It was like, oh yeah.
Okay.
I didn't turn him down. So I've been running this for quite a while since then. I abandoned the San Fernando Valley OG because the nodes were about 8 or 9 inches apart. It was huge. It was so leggy, I guess they'd call it.
Yeah.
And I abandoned the cheese because it grew down and sideways, and it was weird.
Okay.
It grew kind of like a vine or something. It wouldn't shoot up with the rest of them, but the Flow OG, perfect.
Well, that's my question to everybody. I don't have experience with growing clones to harvest like we do seeds. We've always grown seeds, you know? So my mind tells me logically that clones versus seed, that a clone would not hold as much weight based on its architect and lack of taproot versus, you know, a plant from seed. Given that they both have the same parameters from beginning to end. You know what I mean? Like the same veg time, I guess, from rooting until you would until the other one would open up, or however it would have to work out to give them pretty much the same amount. I feel like the plant from seed would hold more weight. I'm not saying that's true. I'm saying that's my thinking in my head, and I'm asking our friends in the community, what's your experience? Because like I said, there's 60 people here. That's 60. If there's, how many years of experience combined there in growing?
I think you're crazy. No way.
Well, that's what I need to hear, man. Talk to me, Art, man.
Oh, clones grow like crazy. I tell you what, they're the fastest growing. Of course, I told you I don't really do good with seeds, so I don't have a real way to compare it. But the clones I have, they shoot up. They're the fastest things I've ever seen. So,
hey, and it's great that you found a niche, your little groove, how you do it. Not saying that it's not good to expand your horizon, but it's nice to have your fallback lane. I know exactly where I belong. It ain't in soil. If I want to make sure that I'm guaranteed to get a harvest, it's going with what I know. Now it's nice to kind of spread your wings in one tent and go with what you know in the other. That's how we're going to do it, because we're going to soon get us some buckets, man, and start going DWC. I've been often telling myself lately, here I am mixing nutrients. I'm putting them in a reservoir. I'm running them through a pump. I'm washing them over a substrate. I'm running it out the bottom, and then I handle that waste, which isn't a lot. It's not a big burden, 10%, nothing crazy. But I'm thinking, I'm mixing the nutes. Why can't I just subtract the substrate at all? Why not just cut out the middleman like I do in the mattress business and just go straight into the water straight into the nutrients instead of doing that whole middle thing? So, but I know me, I got to do this one tent, maybe even just one bucket at first to see how it goes and see if I can do well. Been hanging out with a lot of people for a long time doing DWC, so I think I pretty much know exactly how it goes on paper. But I always tell people this, as a plasterer by trade, you could read a book and know everything about plastering, even more than me, but until you pick up the tools and do it, you ain't shit, So I have to get my
feet wet.
I got to get my feet wet and get into the bucket and see if I can get to the finish line the way you guys do, Art. And
well, I don't know if I'd like deep water culture though. It's a little different because you got water in there all the time. Now I've done a mother in deep water culture, and when I finally had to cull her because it was 4 foot tall, but I pulled it out and the roots were about 10 inches by the circumference of the bucket. They were huge. It was just massive. But then again, I think in deep water culture, you might be risking a little root rot.
Hey,
I don't know.
Dude, I was on the other screen and I forgot seed person 1 hit the bell, dude. I'm such an idiot. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm like, don't forget.
I did forget.
Well, he can get his his microphone and camera. I just wanted to say, hey, seed person, we're glad you're here, and yeah, you guys can continue on. It just didn't want to.
Yeah, seed person, you'll have to excuse me, man. I was on the Zoom link and I don't have split screen. It's either one screen or the other. So I switched back and forth. I was on YouTube, and forgot that you was sitting in the waiting room. So
you're good. No, it's fine. I forgot I was on there too. I started tidying up my little space here, and then I heard you say, and I was like, oh fuck, I forgot I was on the Zoom. So we were both. I thought I was just listening to the show. So
afternoon, seed person.
How's it going, Art, man? Your garden's awesome.
Oh, thanks, man.
I like all the little stations and everything's got its spot and very systematic.
Yes, it's very
NASA, baby.
It's digitized, but he still has a lot of hands on there too. I like what you got. There's a good.
It's a great combination of the two. Yeah, the hands on and the automation.
Yeah, and it is. It's everybody has their own style of growing, and I love them all, man. I do. It's just certain ones aren't for certain people. Like, just you go to ask any soil grower who's a no-till organic person, they're like, look, I'm not growing hydro. It just ain't for me, whether it be cocoa or whatever else. And I can appreciate that. And it kind of goes around. It's because of how they've been taught or they've cultivated their plants in the past, the product that they've got, they found their lane, man, and they stay in it, a lot of times. But
we want to spread our wings and try different things.
Oh, there's Fat Cat. Hold on, don't tell me the names. We know the names. One starts with an S.
It's he's named
Scout.
Scout, and that is Atticus. And because he's a little on the chubby side, we might want to call him Faticus from time to time.
Oh,
There you go. Nice. Good memory for a stoner.
yeah. Hey, you're like
This is actually Scout, and she's getting a little chunky for the winter. We've been feeding her all kinds of treats and stuff.
Aww.
But she's like, I know you're talking about me.
Look,
I love the cats.
We love our animals.
We welcome cats and gardens and
dogs too.
And dogs and everything. Bring it on. We like to be all welcoming here. What you got going on your auto?
My autos. The other plants are in darkness right now. But I wanted to show, I took down an auto 64 days, not this one, obviously, because it's still in the pot, but the Skywalker from Mephisto, the one that was real stunted, but it was real frosty. I got it. Oh, shit.
Oh, I see the Meyer.
There it is.
Oh, that's a nice sight. All those buds in there.
Well, honestly, that's it. That was the whole plant.
Hey,
like a half an ounce. So,
hey man,
but shit, it was 64 days, you know. It's like a bumper crop or something. A little tester.
Shut up. That's beautiful looking. I like
Let me
that.
see if I can get this in the light.
well, you know, one thing I will say is, and this is an ode to you and not a rib cage shot, seed person, is that you did come on and you've been honest with how the grow dots reacted poorly with auto flowers and how they messed a bunch of shit up for you. So I gotta say thank you for being able to share that from day one until you started seeing the mistakes all the way through now until you have this in the minor now jar. That looks like some fire, don't it?
I'm looking at the frost. It looks great.
There's some purple in there a little bit.
To not judge a plant until it's in my pipe or in my papers, and then and only then, because I've been schooled like thinking, oh, that's gonna be crap, or oh, that looks like it's gonna be fire, and the proof's in the pudding. It comes out in the end if it's gonna be good or bad in your pipe.
How many moons you got that for in there now?
This is on, it went for 96 hours and I'm got 68 hours on the timer left.
Okay, cool.
And then it should be done. I've talked to Scott from Herbs Now quite a bit since I got the dryer, and he's been really helpful all the way through, but it's got this whole manual and it's very detailed on how to do it.
No doubt. Was you able to get some kind of a code or anything? So anything like that?
No, I've been looking at it for a while. Since Jack Greenstock mentioned loving his, I can't afford a Canatrol, but they were never in stock. So I saw he was doing a Thanksgiving giveaway and I'm like, shit. So I went and checked the website and I knew they were in stock. So I was like, I'm going to jump on it because they're, he does small batches of the product.
Well, it's a smart move, man. I've heard nothing but good things about it. And, we often promote our Canatrol here because we love it. We love how the effects of it are. We love how it works for us for long-term storage, for everything up and down the line, from harvest clear till the time you smoke it, whether it be months later or, 6 weeks later. But anyhow, we always like to say that, the Herbs Now dryer is a legit product too. I've never smoked nothing from it, but I know that Eagle Gardens recommends it. I know Jack Greenstock recommends it, and a few other authoritative figures around the community that I like to take their word, for good shit. So we always tell people, like, if you can afford a Canatrol and you are having trouble getting your environment right, and that's a problem. If drying and curing is a problem, this is definitely a product to look into. And if anyone in chat wants to post a link so other people can go and buy one, feel free to do that. It's not like a Canatrol oligarchy here or nothing. We want to share all products that are good. And if anybody has a code for this or something, let's get it in the chat. And so everybody has access to a piece of equipment that is right for them.
And I gotta say, seed person, I highly respect your opinion and your review of this. When it's all said and done, I'm gonna go with what you you know,
Eric,
just like
thank
Jack Stock and stuff. It just, I keep, you know, I respect you guys.
Yeah, there's our friend Chiba Man in the chat. I got a lot of respect for Chiba Man, and he's giving it a thumbs up too. So that's what just another thing that somebody might be able to add to their garden to really help. Because here's the important thing, man. We put all this work into getting the right light, finding the height, getting these good seeds, these good genetics, and putting it in the best soil or whatever we can. And we put all of our energy into that, and then come post harvest. If you lose your product, and let's be honest, from the most seasoned grower to the newest guy, we've all lost product in cure. And if that happens to you, it's a real kick in the nuts, man, because of all of what you have invested in your heart and soul, man. We love this shit. This is what we do. We put a lot of love into this. And then to lose all your medicine at the end is just devastating. And it can almost turn new growers away. I think, you know, yeah, it happens more than once, man, and you're going to be in trouble. So I think this is an understated part of cannabis cultivation, especially in the craft cannabis cultivation at home, is the drying and curing. I don't think it's that much anymore. A lot of people are talking about it a lot more now, but I think, you know, with all the attention that lights and soil gets, this needs to be right up there.
Yeah. And, you know, I want to point out Smiley's Garden has a great point. He says Jack was kind of the best one about this. He was talking smack pretty good, and then he got one, and that changed his tune. That goes to show you, you know, you
Exactly.
didn't believe in that product enough to be like, hey, here's a warning. But then you try it and you're like, yeah, Gromies, this is it, man. Dude, great.
Let me show you guys something real quick I thought was really cool on this.
Yes.
So when I got it, I looked at it and I was like, you know, I know that at least some of my buds that I grow are going to be fatter than what space is available in between these two racks here, right?
Right.
And what's really cool is that this middle part comes out, and then you can stack it up like this,
Giving yourself height.
and then you have an extra layer in here, and then you put the next one on here. So then you got what, like 1.5 inches, 2 inches in there instead of like 1 inch. I thought that was really clever.
I like that too. That's really nice.
I didn't know it had that feature either, so I'm glad you showed that. And like I said, if anybody wants to put the link up for one of these, someone could maybe even just save it and, you know, down the line. Hey, is there any, can I ask what these cost?
It was $199 or $189, something like that, $200 essentially.
There you go. That's not going to set you back too many dinners, man. Two
But
bones.
I think he might be having a sale right now for Black Friday. I don't know for sure because I already bought mine, but I think I saw something about that.
We
In
certainly
case anybody's interested. Yeah, go look at.
appreciate the information.
Hey, I gotta say this too, man. When I saw your name pop up there, my stomach got all excited and shit for the other tent that's in the dark. I'm kind
Oh, sorry, man.
of I was thinking shit, the growing with my fellow growers, cheap home grow tent. And
They are going, man. You know, I did notice some yellowing on one of them, and I did the CalMag foliar. I tried that, and I've been adding a little bit of CalMag in with it. Not on these just get water and recharge, but on the photo period, that tent there. And it seemed to stop it. I haven't seen any more speckling or yellowing or anything, but they didn't seem to green up either. So I don't know.
Okay.
We'll have to see. I'll put some pictures in the journal.
Yeah, we'll definitely keep track of that. It's been fun watching them come up ever since you had them very first open up and you had all those different colored tags in them and shit. These girls here were very young, and we've got to watch it from beginning all the way to the end. And well, you got some chonk in there though,
It's
huh?
an ugly plant, man. And it's super, super loose, but it smells like a watermelon, straight up. So I'm going to put the whole thing into the bubble bags.
The bubble bags, like they're having a sale on that right now too, right? They're
I saw that there was some on Amazon that were marked down, and I bought a 5-pack, but Rowdy was pretty insistent that you got to have, what's up, weed nerd?
Oh,
cheers, weed nerd.
Cheers, weed.
Yeah, Rowdy convinced me to buy that other pack of the total mesh bag. He insisted.
Rowdy
He's
did.
very insistent that you got to
Yeah,
have the full
you know,
mesh.
Full
Smart Mouth
mesh,
had
that
our
was
eye
it.
on those too. The full mesh.
Yeah.
That's what we're going for next.
Yep. Hey, Rowdy's asking if did you show off the MSG yet? What's that? What's the MSG?
The Mendo Skunky Garlic Auto. And I got a little more room in here, so we pull it out all the way.
Cool.
Is it really loud?
Rowdy,
No, it's quiet.
what else did he ask there? He was asking something else. Oh, Artman's in the chat too. Okay, I see. You're all over it.
You guys hearing
Give it
me?
the old stem rub.
We nerd.
There you are.
All right.
What's up, you nerd?
Yeah, man. Let me just find my glasses and I realize I can't see shit on my phone.
I have the same problem. I gotta
Like,
have
okay.
Weed nerd. Hey, weed
Yo.
nerd. You
Sir.
have the smoothest voice on the net, dude. Like silk. It's wonderful. I appreciate you. You caress my ears, dude. In a good way.
Okay, so let's see if I can get this camera thing going. Oh, wait. Brightness here. Still there?
I hear you.
Oh, there we go. I might get choppy here. Let's see. Video. And then,
Nice.
there we go. All right, I'm on the side here. Let me. Oh, switch to my view.
All right, hold on one
There's
second.
my little O3 thing there. I keep talking about the plates behind that.
Can you turn your phone sideways, man? Will that work?
Ah, shit.
Oh,
All right, glad I came in. Hey, goddamn.
I'm glad you came in.
Oh shit, man.
Hey, this is real life happening right now.
Where's Rowdy at? Damn, we nerd. Did it break anything?
The tie broke out, man.
Just the
Uh-oh.
tie. That's good.
Look
No,
out.
it's all right. She's tough. I lean her every day there to put the water in it. Let's take a look while we're at it.
Oh shit.
Beautiful roots.
Mom spaghetti.
Mom spaghetti.
Pretty good.
Feet are weak, arms are heavy.
Tension on that wire. Well, yeah, man, they're getting nice and frosty.
Oh yeah.
Beautiful.
I don't know about taking them tomorrow. It seems a little early. But that one, oh, it's a little more finished.
And that's what I talk about, those deep water culture
Looking at it,
roots. Monsters.
This one there is beautiful. I love that structure. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Thank you. Let me get back up here. Oh, I got a bunch of cameras.
It's like it's got a crown on top of it.
Here, my little box for my camera. Tell the phone's all blue up there. You can see right through it. The cover is just kind of sitting on it. This one, I took the cover off. It blew off. The
Ah,
battery hasn't swollen too much.
Wow.
So, all right. This one too. But then I got this cam here. Got that cam up there. This is the other cherry.
It's like a filming studio in there.
I like that cherry. The looks of that cherry.
Point. I don't like having to come in too much. She's pretty. I like her. So yeah, that one's done. Now let's go see the other tent. That's where the driest ones are.
That one plant was trying to get away, man. That's what they said in the chat. Oh man, look at that.
Damn.
Oh,
Holding up like a cheap suit.
Shiny there.
Awesome.
We'll let her hang for a bit. But yeah, man. They are damn crispy.
It's crispy.
Look how close it is, man.
Yeah.
It was at 1,400, well, 1,400 humos on the top, or on top of that one. This one, man, 12. I got the other ones going. They look just as fat.
They're so chunky. They look like they're hard,
Yeah.
rock hard
They're
buds.
not currently looking, but every nug is big, you know. So,
That's the Wake and Bake collection, right?
yeah, this is the blueberry cinnamon.
Ah,
It's kind of nice structure here.
that's awesome. You're getting some good smells, I imagine.
Oh, yeah, this one's nice blueberry. This one's got like, wow, for a key lime there.
Oh yeah.
Interesting. It's got that freshness of the lime, but there's some fruit there. Cream, hazelnut cream, I think is what it was. But yeah. Look at these. This one's big, and I gotta watch the fan. Then you're gonna hear it here.
Uh-oh, here we go. Root porn.
I
Oh my.
know,
Oh,
that's
shit.
crazy.
A bundle.
Yeah, I'm
Heck,
having spaghetti for dinner, guys. This has inspired me.
Sounds like
if you was making salve out of that, holy shit, dude, you'd have buckets of salve. Literally.
we do the DWC, I won't be frying that up, trying to see. It always makes me hungry too.
It's a little brown there at the start. It's actually pretty clean. This one I don't want to lift it too much. The other one's leaning on it, as you can see. Maybe. Out there. Yeah, man. This is my jungle.
That's
Oh,
right.
yeah, man.
But true. I'll zip her up there. I need both hands for that. I'll be there.
All right.
Those look like right there don't look like they're going to be too miserable to trim.
No.
I like to plant like that with that bud structure. Anything that makes it easier for me come trim time.
I guess we could show them what.
Important.
Yeah, yes, it is. It's like look at Art Man. Yeah, I could see a lot of trimming over there in your future. You got a whole bunch of
Yeah. That's going to be a 3-day, 3-day trim.
Do you have any help when you go to trimming?
Sometimes if something doesn't happen, you know, once in a well, it usually I do it on my own.
I have big respect to those of you who have to do it and tackle it by yourself.
yeah. Man.
This here is my UV sealer up there. I was talking about.
Oh, okay. I've been wanting to see that. Hold on, let me
It's a
spot like
bulb, right?
check
There's
it
like-
out.
There's some shit going down in the tube there. You know what I mean?
Yep, it's burning.
And it's hot. You could see there the glass got all black.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
It's pretty.
What
Freaking
nanometer is that? That's UVC. What
UVC 253 nanometer.
250?
So it doesn't create ozone, but it, you know, so 15 minutes within 3 feet, it'll kill everything.
Oh yeah, no doubt. That thing.
I ran it a bit in the room with the plants, but just for like 15 seconds. I did it twice, 12 seconds and 15 seconds, and there was no effect at all. Like I didn't see anything happen to them.
Okay.
Nothing made spots or anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I was watching a Bugby video the other day where he had talked about UV, A, B, and C, and he said that they were experimenting with it. And he admitted, he goes, we burn a lot of plants up trying to get this dialed in just right. And he goes, it's all about timing. And he said, when you get to the B and C, he goes, it's literally seconds per hour or seconds per day. And he goes, that's it. You have to hurry up and cut it off. So I guess a lot of that was still in play, but I guess that's the ones that burn your skin and shit, obviously, and your eyeballs and stuff.
That's
so
the thing. And I read somewhere where they were, because of COVID, they were working on UVC 222 nanometer, which was a specific nanometer just at that one, that it didn't burn the skin. Plants were okay, but it would still kill any coronavirus or any virus that was on the surface, like any other UVC would. And just because of that nanometer, it wouldn't penetrate the water wall in your eye. It wouldn't penetrate the skin, so there would be no damage.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so
That is-
I was always bringing that up. I've been bringing that up for a while now about, well, that would be nice in horticulture, right? Like, wouldn't it? Like, if you could have a UVC light running all the time, doesn't harm the plants, but kills anything in the air. And you can have it, you could be in the room instead of having in line in a pipe where it's dangerous if it comes apart, or, you know what I mean? It
Yeah,
would be
they
a
offer
smart
they offer
way to do an IPM solution there, because ozone's bad for you. And there's a few things, I use ozone right now, actually. I don't breathe it in, but I have it set up so that it's flushing through one way, and I'm not getting any of that. So I've been suscepting them to a lot of O3 there, just to mitigate any PM or anything else that might be there, just because I got nice plants and I want it to stay that way. So yeah, and apparently it's good for the air and the water. It helps saturate the water with O2. It's 13 times more soluble than regular air and regular O2 in water, and it turns into O2 in the water. So yeah,
That's pretty cool,
apparently it's
man.
beneficial. Yeah,
It's
I've been
always
using it, and my plants look good.
yeah, it's always
Oh,
fun
yeah.
to mess around with that stuff. I mean, you have it. Might as well see what the deal is. And
It was
learn.
Empire Dave, man. He got me going there. He got me
Yeah.
thinking when he said, "Well, you could just run your air for 15 minutes an hour." I'm like, "What?"
Yeah, that's
It's like,
pretty.
yeah, but that'd be the bare minimum, right? Like,
Yeah,
because he was talking about how it would saturate within 15 minutes. It'd be good for an hour, and it would be saturated. But I don't know about the plant. This massive plant just, sucking everything out of the water. It's
right.
potentially taking that O2 as well. I'm thinking. So,
What
you know
else
what I
does
mean?
it kill? What does it kill? I mean, I know it does powdery mildew.
The O3, anything
Yeah, when
pretty
you
much
treat
in
it,
the air. In the
just takes
water, it
it right
doesn't
out.
kill
I have one
anything.
of those.
It just adds
I
adds more oxygen to the water. It
I
saturates
have
more
an
than you could without it.
right. I have one of those, but I just haven't used it. I don't know enough about it.
Is it the plates, or it's got like a steel plate
Yeah,
in it there that it zaps?
yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely, absolutely.
that's
That's
pretty
right.
cool.
The wedding present.
I
It's
got
been
that like
sitting.
9 years ago from my cats. When I moved here, I'm in a basement, so it's pretty like locked in the winter. My cats, I smoke a lot,
Yeah.
so I wanted to clean the air for them, and I found that it was an O3 HEPA negative ion. It had 4 things there that it did, and so I'm just like, okay. But
Sounds
yeah,
familiar.
the
I'll talk to
O3
you in
was a
chat
little
about it.
weird.
Hey,
I'll get more. I'll get more detail over at Coco for Cannabis for you, man.
hey, Martin 420K says that there be spider mites walking around with flash burn or arc eye. How from
That'll blind them for sure. I
Oh,
don't
that's
know
great.
what it does to bugs. I wonder,
Yeah,
because they said 15 minutes there, any surface within 3 feet will
yeah.
get annihilated. So that
Damn.
would include spiders, anything there, anything that's living.
You would
Is
think it
dead.
would at least include soft-bodied insects. Anyhow, I don't know. Maybe some of the
Yeah,
hard.
it depends. A big fly might screw his eyes up a little, but it's not going to kill it. You know what I mean?
You might
Yeah.
get some weird growth.
You'll be
Yeah.
Some of them
blind,
are
but
just
that's okay.
invincible, man.
Some DNA reassembly. Hey, you remember the show The Fly from back in the 80s, man?
Help me!
Yeah.
I'm blind.
Oh, yeah.
That or fry his wings off. You know what I mean?
Uh-oh, what do we
I
got?
was
Awful
a
stuff.
kid. That movie was quite terrifying.
What do we
Too
got
young
going
a
on?
child.
I wouldn't want to be a bug. Well, fly. You can fly. I don't know.
White
But
fire cookies.
shit
What's
for
going on?
food? No thanks.
What do we have? Oh,
Seed person one. Is that what you're about to drop? Hell
I
yeah.
am. I'm gonna. Yeah, I got. Well, I took these autos are coming down. They're gonna be coming down pretty quick, one after another. So I bought a sip. I bought a city picker, and I got some Stonington blend at the hydro store. And I'm
oh
gonna start
shit.
another photo period just for. It's gonna be just the one in the one tent now, the 3x3, and just one plant and the full city picker.
I love
Okay.
it. I
Now-
love it.
Oh, I got questions, brother. I got questions. Go ahead.
I love the,
These seeds are fucking
going
huge.
in, being born, like this is all that potential happening right now.
So you don't soak your seeds or nothing. You're just a direct sow kind of guy, right?
Yep, drop it right in the dirt.
I can respect the hell out of that, man.
The
Give it
way
a
nature
spray.
intended.
Nice.
Bam.
Would it make me an asshole
It's
if
a
I
little
asked you
struggle,
if I
right?
had dirt or soil?
Oh,
What's that? It's not dirt. It's not soil.
What
It's
is it?
potting mix.
It looks
That's
like
okay.
chocolate.
It's
It's
good
Fox
stuff.
Farm Happy Frog.
That's good stuff, man.
It is, yeah.
And that stuff smells good. We've used that, and they have the most beautiful art on their bags.
Yeah, they
too.
got pretty art. That's always good, right? It's like Terpinator. I better shut up. Let me just shut up. Right.
Hey,
Hey, how's that trellis coming along for you there? Is it working out?
Yeah,
that
it's working out
plastic
pretty
one?
well. Was
The
that for me?
shelving? Yeah.
The one in the photo period tent?
Yeah, the plastic stakes there.
Oh, yeah, it's working really well. Sorry. I just wanted to show that one
I
thing,
was
but yeah,
watching
for
the
sure.
YouTube. I'm a little behind.
Oh no, you're
My-
good. Yeah, it's working out well.
Right on.
And they're all kind of, however it needed to go.
Yep. Keep building as it goes. I like building a building, right? The tower crane
Yep.
builds and it climbs up as it goes.
Just the one actually got big enough to need more than one layer though. So we'll see. I'm going to put them on the city picker too. I'm not going to do a scrog on the next one. I don't think.
Gotta crack them, you know what? Snap them down. You gotta hurt them, Ella.
I like
Actually, it's too late. No, don't hurt them. You'll hurt them.
Not yet. Next run.
Yeah.
We'll get a little brutal.
Nice. Okay, guys. Well, thanks for having me. I'm gonna hop off and get back and chat, but I'm enjoying the show, man. Keep it going.
Thank you for stopping by.
Cheers
So-
and growing up.
Take it easy,
Oh, yeah.
Weaver.
Oh, wow.
Cheers, guys.
See you, man. I'm excited to see your plants come down. It's going to be awesome.
Oh yeah, I'll be IG and all that there. You'll see soon. Cheers,
Oh,
guys.
yeah.
Cheers, sweet nerd. Grower love to you. Hey, I just gotta say, I like those trellises that you have, seed person. I like that, if you get a plant that's grown a little, different than the others, you tend to, each plant has their own thing, we all know that one will go the way that it wants to go and the other one doesn't go the same way. Nice for training.
Yeah, it's nice to be able to, well, it'll be nice, but the one big one was nice to be able to support it up because it's real spindly. So the modular part of it was nice because you can I branched it out in a way that it's not designed to be you're supposed to put it in like a square or some shit, but I just kind of made it work and however the plant was growing around it.
There's our tent. I figured I'd show what we got going, and we're almost ready to come down. We're at week 8. I think here in the next couple days we'll be at week 8.
Oh, they're looking good. They're looking fine.
The two in the back over there in the back are max, and they're supposedly taking they're supposed to take a little longer, but you know what? I'm not sure. Maybe that's just if you have a true clone cut of Mac. These are seeds from the UK, Holland, whatever, from MSNL. I guess they're made in Holland, go through the UK. I'm not really sure how it goes, but anyhow, really promising. They're nice and frosty. And then the one on the front left there is an Alien OG, and it's going well. Got all of the buds are really hard and chunky. And then on the right there in the front, that's a peanut butter breath. And they're not bad, man. Very, very fun grow as far as watching them change and shit. And we vegged them for 27 days, but it's definitely not going to be our best return on investment when it comes to lights and nutrients and shit. We can definitely do better. We have done much better. And this is part of our experiment in trying to figure out how many days to veg per square foot and how many plants to keep in the tent and all that shit to where it comes out. You get an equal balance of cost per gram, not getting mold by trying to pack the tent too tight. Suffered that so many times. Now here we are on the kind of we went too far the other way. So we're finding our equilibrium all this time in. We're still trying to always get better and better and have every square field and all that shit, but we often fall short in our training, and it's still look at all the burnt tips we got. You guys can mention it. Don't be shy. Shit's all tore up in there, man. We had dry back. I have a shitty watering system. This isn't an excuse. This is not an excuse. This is a reason. The shitty watering system that we have, it overwaters at night and it underwaters during lights on, because that's just how it is. It's set up as a incremental every 1 hour. You can't stop that shit. So that's the reason why we're going to make that better. But even trying to work those parameters and flush down a little bit, and it becomes wasteful, and you're still getting dry back. So I have to do some changes there too. But we always have room for improvement. I'm very grateful to have the medicine that we do, and I wanted to show everybody the good, the bad, the ugly over here. And I always tell people, when you think you made a massive mistake, you can always look to Smart and Crispy as your paradigm of hope, because I guarantee you we made something similar or just as bad or worse. And if not, we can at least feel in your pain and sympathy.
Oh, yeah, definitely feeling the pain.
All right, let me get off of here. And
welcome, Indoor Promised Land. How are you doing today?
Hey, what's up, Crispy? Hey, what's up, Smart? How are we doing today?
Awesome.
Good,
it's
New York,
awesome.
John. I assume you're back from your road trip for the holidays?
Yeah, we were actually going to travel today, but last night we finished up supper a little early, and it was like, it's supposed to rain. There's probably going to be a lot of traffic up 95 and up 81, and thought just come back last night. So we powered through, got home around 1, and was wired. Couldn't fall asleep until about 3. Slept until 11, and now I'm kind of just waking up. I just had my second cup of coffee.
Awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm on the East Coast, so it's already kind of late here.
Yeah, same here. We're on the East Coast. It's kind of afternoon, but coffee sounds good. Excuse me, gentlemen and ladies, and I'll be right back. I'm going to talk to the barista. And welcome,
Scrubs and Shrubs. What's happening?
Oh, not a whole lot, buddy. How are you all?
If I was doing any better, I'd have to sit on my hands just to keep from clapping, man.
Good
Shit,
deal.
Smart Poker. I said that at work the other day and somebody laughed their ass off. That's a great saying. I learned that one from you.
Oh, that's good stuff, man. It's you know what? I pulled a muscle in my back, but I've been sitting here hanging out with you guys and I forgot all about it. I've smoked like 5 bowls, the wife and I took a couple Motrin, and I'm in a good position. So we'll probably hang out past 2 o'clock. So everybody has plenty of time to hang out. We ate a big meal before coming on, and I got prepared for a Sunday of just chilling with my friends and shit. So we'll definitely let me get you. We'll definitely
Hey, Smart. I was nervous to come on. I'm upstairs and I'm gonna roll a joint. I'm rolling and rolling, thinking about the show, and I looked down and I had 5 joints rolled. It's like,
Are you smoking them all? You gonna smoke them all with us?
There are 2 left.
Hell yeah.
So, there we go.
2 more joints to go. So your nerves, they're gone now, right? Everything's cool because it went great, man.
Yeah, good.
That's awesome, man. I'm glad that you feel comfortable to come on and share. And I think your setup's pretty wild. I know that a lot of people could probably take something from it and maybe add it to their shit or rethink how they have their set up or something along those lines. And that's powerful shit, man. We appreciate you sharing.
Well, they can come over to Coco for Cannabis if they have any questions.
I'm gonna take a look at that here now too. Let's see.
Oh, look at Indoor Promised Land. He always has them big, massive chonkers, man. I tell you what,
Look at those.
this dude, he don't mess around, man. Let me get him up on
That's
the
a beautiful setup.
Look at that. We'll get the Scrubs here directly, man.
Let's
I'll
see
take your time, dude.
Yeah, so I just let me pick this up. I'll walk with you guys because it's garden tour day, right? So I have a little bit of variety, although they're all the same cultivar. They're all the same strain. Again, with the orangutan titties, I think this is the last run. We have a mother plant, but honestly, I have enough clones going on right now with some other exciting new stuff. I think it's ready to scrap the old. But what you'll notice is the small plant here in the middle. And if you guys have been following along with me over my channel, or if you've been following along at Coco for Cannabis with the Plant Training Grow Challenge that is pretty much ending this week, right? Everyone should be, well, maybe not everyone's done, but like if we all flipped October the 1st, then
Yeah.
than with 8 weeks now. So, and that's where we are. We actually have just a couple more days. I'm going to capitalize on that. I was a late comer. I flipped on the 2nd. But
Okay.
this is the plant that I had in that challenge, and I'm in the toppers group. So you can see we've had multiple tops. Now I have to apologize. I was away for a few days. When I came back, the plant was leaning quite a bit. So we had to kind of give it a little bit of a little support here, zip ties and shit. But it's as it might have leaned a little bit out of the net pot, out of the hole while I was gone, because that's how it was when I arrived back yesterday. It might have happened immediately because everything wasn't like turned up in a different direction. But
Yeah.
I noticed that I've got quite a bit of a slant on this plant right now. It's a slanty plant, right?
Hey,
But
that seems to be a common thread today, because Artman was explaining earlier how he uses a square net pot, so it can only bend to the side a little bit. Then Weed Nerd opens his tent up and his whole shit's buckled over. Now you come on and have yours tied up. So it must be like everything comes in threes and it's leaner day.
right. So
It's a synchronicity.
Yeah, what you'll notice is this plant being much smaller than the others, although they were all from the same run of clones. This one is only a 22-day veg, so just slightly more than 3 weeks. I came in kind of late to the grow challenge, and I had some clones that we were just starting to root, so I decided I would take the rest of them and let them finish out. To be honest, I think these are week 4 flower. No, after week 5 of flower now, if I'm doing my math right, because this was 22 days and we let these run a couple more weeks before we flipped them, and they are clearly a couple weeks behind what we have going on here. But we topped a lot. We rushed 22-day veg, and it stayed reasonably short and squat.
Yeah.
And I will probably do like a video post-mortem on my channel over Indoor Promised Land about this once we harvest it, or maybe like the day that we harvest in a couple days. I'm going to give my thoughts about what turned out, why it turned out, how it turned out, and a little bit of explanation more than just, oh, it's 22 days veg and this is when it flipped. Because there's a lot, there's a morphological difference between a 22-day veg plant and like, a 38-day or a 40-day veg plant, especially even here in hydro. There's a massive, massive difference. And that's just that extra veg time. But also there's a difference in the way that the nodes are spaced, how low they are, how much stretch they get to have because of the vigorous growth that they were having late in veg after many weeks, rather than, 22-day veg. That would be rather short, for soil or cocoa. And even in the hydro with the big plants that I like to grow, 22-day veg seems like I get a little more return from things when I get longer veg. But I wanted to keep up with the flip date. I wanted to stay pretty uniform with people. I have posted, if you guys don't know about it, Cocoa for Cannabis Plant Training Grow Challenge. It's just about over, but we've got another grow challenge coming up for the New Year's. If you want to hop over there and check that out, you guys can get informed. I know that Smart and Crispy and Weed Nerd and all you guys are, part of that camp, and you've probably talked about it more than I have. But this was my entry. And yep, this is what I was able to get: topping, and then stopping, a couple days before we flip into flower, and DWC hydroponics. And this is now, it's in week 8, so a couple more days to go.
Hey, I want to ask you, John, is that John Candy from Uncle Buck or something in the background?
No, man, that's Elon Musk smoking weed on Joe Rogan's show.
Yeah, man, I thought that was Uncle Buck telling that, smoking a cigar, telling that lady, here's a quarter about how a rat chew that.
No, that certainly would be funnier though, right?
No, but
Yeah.
I like that. I like that.
Can I ask what the terp profile is on the orangutan titties? What does an orangutan titty taste like?
Well, if you want to know about that, we talked about that exactly. And Chad Westport and I, maybe 6 weeks ago, he had him onto the show, and I actually asked him. I said, "Look, I read off like the terpene profile that I'd found online, with the genetics, with the reports and whatnot," and he explained to me what each one of those meant. If you guys want to get more deep into that, you have to go back to that program, like I said, on my live about 6 or 7 weeks ago. But just to give you like a cursory answer, it's a mix between Skittles and I think something else with Grease Monkey, right? It's got like a very, very broad fruity smell, like really broad. It's not specifically, like lime or lemon or orange. It's not specifically like fruity, like cherries or something. It's kind of the best way I've described it is like maybe overly ripe, like if you had an overly ripe bowl of fruit where you had like an orange, an apple, a pear, a banana, in there. That's kind of what it would smell like the day before you tossed it out. It's got a pungent thing, but it definitely retains a lot of like the Skittles sort of taste. That's kind of like the baseline taste, which Skittles itself is like tasting a rainbow. It's all those different fruits put together. So I'm not entirely surprised. The grease monkey was kind of gassy. If anyone ever grew that from exotics, but they pretty much have put that into all of their hash plants. So that's what we've been growing here for a while. Before this, we had mimosa and strawberries and cream, and we did a couple grease monkeys. My favorite one was lemon drip, which was super lemony. So when I compare like these fruity flavors, like I have to make a distinction. That lemon drip was the most lemony lemon shit I ever tasted. And this sort of has some aspect of that, but it's not dominant. So does that answer your question?
It does. Thank you very much.
But yeah, if you wanted to know the list of it, you could of course look up the strain. They tell you it's about 4 different dominant terpenes, and they're all kind of different. And like I said, Chad Westport, knows quite a bit and had done, obviously as a breeder, he's really looked into like things like terpene profiles, and he also knows a lot of the science behind it. He breaks it down for us probably about mid-program. So if you guys haven't seen that yet, go back and check it out. It was a great interview, and it was nice of him to give us his time like that. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And I gotta say
look at that fucking mother.
Explanation, and you're doing an excellent, beautiful job.
Yeah,
thank you.
Always fun.
Yeah. All right. Well, look, I just wanted to, like I said, I'm a little bit of a garden tour briefly, but like, this is that plant training grow challenge. Topping. That's the way that I do this. That's the group I'm in. That's what I think works for me. You'll notice I don't even have a trellis on these guys, and soon enough, not this plant because it really stood on its own from being kind of low center of gravity and pretty branchy from the bottom. But these other plants typically, they start getting too top heavy, and I put yo-yos on them. So that's kind of my emotional support mechanism for these plants.
Yo-yos.
Yeah. So hey guys, have a great Sunday. Smart, Crispy, good to see you. I just missed Weed Nerd. It was good to see him on, and I look forward to finishing the program here with you guys.
Awesome. It's awesome.
All right. And we'll, of course,
Cheers,
I'll see you guys at my place, Indoor Promised Land, next Saturday. All right. Cheers.
Yes,
Cheers, man.
Cheers.
I'm gonna
Everybody,
post a link.
yeah, make sure everybody gets the link to Indoor Promised Land's page. And anybody in the chat wants to share a link to your Instagram, to your YouTube page. If you have a link or a code or something for the Black Friday, I know Marcus had one in there earlier for Bukasi Earthworks, and that's our friend Brandon. So it's nice to share that and save your friends some money. And everybody's got to go check out that show, because I'd like to hear Chad Westport's take on all that.
Yeah, me
I gotta
too.
be honest, I didn't know that Indoor Promised Land had a show, so I apologize, bro. I will go check that out right after this.
Usually we're listening after the fact
Yeah.
and not catching things live, but yeah, set reminders, and I posted the link in chat.
Yes, it's right there.
And y'all feel free to post and share links. That's what we're here to build each other up.
That's it.
We have we often say.
Hey, I appreciate that part too, you guys. Most places don't really encourage that.
Yeah, because you know why? A lot of people feel like if I bring somebody else up, it somehow takes me down, or they might do better than me and pass me up. And that's just, I guess it's all on how you look at shit. There's people out there now that have their own channels that have twice the followers as us. And I remember their first day growing. I remember sending them pH pen because they didn't even know what one was or anything. And I'm thinking, now look at them, and that's
that is a great feeling.
Feeling.
That's a good feeling. And the people that are out there that we see are doing so much better. We want you to show your stuff. We want to learn the way, and
we're not in competition with anyone here.
We're all on the same side.
You're like the Hattori Hanzo of people learning to grow. You're the the background dude that trains all the masters but doesn't get all the shout outs.
No.
There you go.
You give them the confidence to start showing what they're doing because
Yeah,
you're so
man.
welcoming here, and then they go on to do other things, but it all starts with you.
We know what it's like to not
Exactly.
feel a part of something. We know what it's like to fall flat on our face and have our confidence rattled. And we know what it's like to go to people and get the wrong information and totally wrong information. Then we find the right people that, like to share and, explain. Like this whole show is just like an extension from the Cocoa for Cannabis chat, and everybody's sharing there. We was thinking, wouldn't this be cool if we could do this once in a while, while it's a live show, and be able to really communicate with live pictures and explanations versus typing everything out, And Doc was
Exactly.
Dr.
Yeah.
Coco was very supportive of it and was like, yeah, man, go ahead, do your thing. And I like to say that we always like to say that those guys are a sponsor of ours, man. They always support us. They open many doors and avenues for us, and Grow sponsor and Cocoa for Cannabis. Cheers to them and for being so into all this with us and helping us along every step of the way.
Yes. And it was that welcoming feeling when we first, opened the door for the first time over at Cocoa for Cannabis, that it was like, welcome, come on in. My house is your house and you are very welcome here. And I'm like, that is such an awesome feeling.
Yep.
Let's keep that going.
Yeah. And we want to go ahead and welcome Mr. 71 DPO. Cheers to you, buddy. How's it going?
Great.
Hey, how's it going?
So, man.
Just enjoying your guys' show. Been enjoying it all morning almost. I'm glad I caught it. You guys are super inspiring, and I love how you guys just try to include everybody, because I'm pretty sure in every walk of life there's a cannabis consumer somewhere.
Oh yeah, I hope so anyway.
Yeah, absolutely.
You have a show yourself, 71 DPO, on the FCP channel, if I remember correctly, FCPO2, Saturday's Mental Breakdown. And I think it's a topic that maybe doesn't get enough attention in some platforms. And I think it's cool that there's a niche where someone can go and really open up about that, talk, and see that you're not alone. And we're not all that different a lot of times when it comes to those feelings, thoughts, and shit like that. So if you want to talk about that, man, go ahead. I think it's a wonderful cause.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, mental health is huge. And with mental health, a lot of times comes addiction. Me, myself, I suffered from, drug addiction my whole life. And that was just me trying to cope with, my mental health and the way I kind of chose to cope, and the learning disabilities I kind of maladaptively took on as I grew up. And I could sit here and blame all these different things for it, right? But ultimately, I have all the tools at my disposal, and they're there for a reason. And sometimes it takes a little bit of hard work to tap into those things. And it's not the same for everybody. Not everybody's wired the same. Not everybody learns the same. And so I started getting into it more and more. The more I got into the growing, I just found correlations and everything, especially in nature, in the way plants grow and in the way we grow as humans. We have stages of our lives and stuff like that. And I think that the more I dove into it, the more I was able to find centeredness and peace, and so many different people that are kind of afflicted by the same things. For me, cannabis has always been there. Even when I was doing other substances and getting, taking down the harder substances like opiates and stuff like that, you stray away from cannabis just pretty much monetarily. You're spending all your money and resources on other things, but cannabis was still always there. If I got too sick or something, or it was time to cut it out, you know what I mean? Cannabis was always there to help those withdrawal symptoms, or to help me feel normal, help me want to eat. And the stigmas that go behind it are the ones that kill more people, I believe. I think a lot more people would come for help if some of these stigmas weren't attached to them, especially not just with addiction. You know what I mean? Nobody wants to come out and be like, oh yeah, I'm addicted to shoot dope,
And it's it can be some people, it can be emasculating for a man to come out and saying, hey, I'm having problems with my mental health. I need to reach out to somebody, you know? And a lot of guys look at that as I'm lesser than, or it makes me weak, or I feel vulnerable then, like I could be preyed upon, you know? And I can really relate with your addiction, with the whole prison thing and all the stuff that comes down that road, losing fortunes, losing respect of people that I love and all this other stuff. And so I think it's a great cause. And I like I said, I love the fact that people are actually talking about it, and there's a place where you can go if you want to get, you know, help with that. And much respect for that, man. And I love how you carry yourself. You don't really you don't have I don't want to say, you're not placing the blame on, you know, my dad wasn't there, or nobody told me or whatever. Like, we all know when we're doing wrong a lot of times. And when you get that deep, you know, it's tough, man. It's not, addiction's a really tough thing. A lot of people don't make it out, you know, and it's hard to win a battle against yourself, you know, and it's tough, man. And so I think it's great. I like the fact that it's on the platform and it's got a spotlight on it.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And those stories are very inspiring when you're in a place where you think, you know, I'm in this bad mess right now. It feels like there's no way out. Like, I can't do it. Yes, you can.
Yeah,
you can. We got people here that have done it. It's,
or you think
no one
that's where the community comes in, you know. Without that community, you know, a lot of people don't have anybody to talk to, because I don't, you know, there's a lot of people that can relate with my story. I grew up as like the green sheep of the family. I got, you know, I was born on 420, believe it or not, to some people that didn't believe in cannabis at all and thought it was the devil and everything else, you know. And now, you know, I was just spending Thanksgiving with them, and I can leave my weed out on the table. I can go out and smoke when I want, you know, without any judgment or anything like that. And my dad even ate some of my gummies I brought down there. You know, I was able to share some with my brother. And
Nice.
yeah, so it's cool watching. And the only reason they even were able to see the other side of it was through my experiences. And
you educated them, man, you know, and you enlightened them and showed them the real deal, except not reefer madness, because it's a lot of times, I like to say, it's like, it's not really their fault. It's the environment that they grew up in, what they were told over and over. So once someone
and it's so hard to keep that up front, though, especially, you know, not even with cannabis, just anything in life, right?
Yeah,
it's so hard not to want to be mad at somebody for a way that they think, but until you really put your feet in their shoes, it's hard to do that. And I believe empathy is a huge thing that's lost today. But,
hey, is that a Skunk Ape Glassworks shirt?
Sure is. I was just hanging out with him the other day.
Awesome.
Oh,
Cheers to
yeah.
Skunk Ape, man. That's a cool shirt. Check it out.
it's pretty awesome.
You got that that mushroom thing that you had? I saw that on your IG.
Oh, the pendant.
It looked like a mushroom pipe or something.
Yeah, I got the pendant right here.
Hey, I wanted to take 1 second and interrupt and say, welcome to Rowdy 420, our friend. He got his, people can see your garden up there. And I wanted to give 71 DPO his proper time, and then we'll jump right back over here. Oh,
Thanks for welcoming me. I didn't want to interrupt you.
no.
Hey, Rowdy.
Hey,
Check
guys.
it out. What's that, a bowl on a string? What am I looking
No,
at?
it's just a little pendant that them created. Nice mushrooms on a nice vortex marble down here. He hooked up a lot of really cool stuff when I was down there. I was able to score this super dope marble from him. Let's see.
That's beautiful.
I can't.
Oh, that's cool, man. It looks 10 inches deep.
Turn
from
a
this
better
side.
light on.
Yeah. Hey, if you don't mind, maybe you could show us that mushroom again. I couldn't get you on the big screen fast enough.
Yeah, that pendant is beautiful.
Check it out.
Oh, cool.
Oh, that's cool.
That's beautiful. I mean, just the work in it. I wish I had better resolution on here so I could give
It
it.
looks like it's filled with liquid, like a lava lamp or something.
Right?
going.
Yeah.
I get
Yeah.
it.
And then I got this implosion marble.
Oh, that is so beautiful. It almost looks like a
That's
just a flower
that's
in there, you know.
It's a perfect.
Oh, that's nice work.
Vortex
That's
style
beautiful.
marble. I guess my cat wanted to come say hi.
There's Kitty. What's
Yeah.
Kitty?
He's been missing me. I've been gone for about 5 days, so
Oh,
Kitty.
Oh,
he's
hi, Kitty.
my buddy. He's my
We love
buddy.
to showcase people's animals. What's the cat's name?
Gary.
Gary.
He's a rescue from the streets of Chicago.
Ooh, he's
He
rough.
took about 4 or 5 months for him to even want to warm up to get close enough to me like this. So it's nice.
That is
Then I got
amazing.
some killer marbles from him as well. These are like for slurper sets and such.
Okay. Is he named after Gary Payton?
No, he's just my buddy actually named him because he's just Gary. He's just like a slow cat kind of. So Gary seemed like my other one. I don't know where he's at right now. Sabertooth. He's an old guy. He's got an underbite, so he's got his 2 teeth that stick out.
Oh,
So he's Sabertooth. But yeah, this one's just Gary. Say hi, Gary.
There's a lot of cats on here. A lot of people have cats.
I'll show you garden real quick. I was just in bed.
okay.
Just not crazy right now, but I just got back to it, so I just got back yesterday, and switch camera. There we go. Got to come in here, and I got the 2 city pickers. I come here today, but the lights just came on. The 2 city pickers. Here's Sabertooth. He always likes to come in and
What's a
help.
city picker?
It's like that earth box, but it's square. So
I just picked one up, and I'm gonna have some questions if that's all right.
Oh, so it's a
That's
square
good.
earth box instead of rectangular?
And
Okay.
fucking great. This one's doing real good.
Man, those plants look like they're in perfect health, man.
Beautiful.
Whatever's going on underneath of that cut, what is that, like a geotextile covering or something? What?
Yeah, I just
Okay, yeah. Oh, there you go.
Nice.
You got some.
Do you
shit.
put a mulch on top and then put the cover on it?
I did a whole I did a cover crop and then buried that. Get down there, see all the beneficial
Okay.
they're moving around. There's a worm right over there.
You put some worms in there?
Springtail.
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah. That's what I'm gonna be trying to build, something similar to that next run.
Loves it. These are 2 little 20 gals.
Kitty's gonna eat your plant.
That cat.
But yeah, so I gotta put some water in here. It's Sunday and the office is closed, but I got some fish brew from Daga Dog Garden. Y'all should definitely check out that site. Wonderful site. Has seeds, nutrients, whatever you want.
Link here. We'll try to put it up.
Yeah, and then those need to be watered. I didn't water them yesterday, but like I said, I'll wait till tomorrow once I get that fish brew in. I got to come in here and do some defoliation. I've topped everything once. I might top again, but
Check out the cat, man.
yeah. And then like with this stuff,
He
so
looks like
if
he's
I have
talking-
runoff, what I'll do is I'll let this paper, my carbon sources that I'm using for my worm bin,
Yeah.
I'll let that soak up all the runoff.
Oh, there you go. And then that
My
just kind of
smoke brain,
repurposes
get
it
that.
right into the next batch.
Yeah,
That's pretty
So-
smart.
that was my thinking. But
Uh-oh, he's eating it.
yeah, he likes to chew on them. Like these are the ones that get in danger. I've had them completely ruin like 3 or 4 fucking plants, by going and demolishing them. If they're young, this one's almost there to where I don't got to worry about it. These, like, he can't really mess with these too bad, But if they're small, like I've had solo cups and come in and they've just been destroyed by them.
Hey, we've had our plants pulled clean out of the solo cup by roots and all, and then we replanted them, and it definitely messed with them. But so we've been victims of our own cat as well. And it's nice to see that we're not alone. Once they get to a certain size, I immediately clicks in my head that they're kitty proof now. I can let her come in, do her thing, and
Yeah.
you got some cacti growing in there, huh? They got to stay out.
Oh,
of
yeah. Got a San Pedro over there. My buddy gifted me that. So one day it'll be used to grind it down into a medicine.
Oh, really?
That is awesome.
What's that for, if I can ask?
It's for going to the moon.
Yeah. Help open up the spirit realm and connect
Okay.
spirits and such. That's an aloe I got from a local grow store. It's just a tiny little pup when I got it, probably about that big. Used it several times for cloning and such. But yeah, I had a real bad run-in with russet mites my last grow. So I wiped everything out. I had probably 60, 80 gallon soil that I had to throw out, everything, that I've had for runs and runs and runs, been building up. And just decided, fuck it. reset everything, and started with some build-a-soil this time around. Build-a-soil, coast to main compost. I have my own worm bin. Let's see. Try to bring it over here real quick. This is where I keep my worm. I'm in a studio apartment, so I don't have that much space. But there's my worm bin. You see, I keep all my compostables right here. Yeah, so I put all my worms from here in there. I went to MI Beneficials. It's a local company out of Michigan, family company. He runs it out of his dad. Produces a lot of really good beneficial insects, rogue beetles, predatory mice, just all sorts of things to help go into your soils and beds and such, along with a lot of other amendments and stuff. They're a great company if anybody's looking for a great organic source. MI Beneficials, check them out.
Yeah, man. If you're welcome to post any links or whatever you might have, or yeah, if anybody with the blue wrench there wants to look them up, put the link in. Looks like they're working good for you there.
Yeah, thank you much. I appreciate it. Yeah, I used Brandon Rust, that Micro Plus from him for some microbes. I'm really getting into like the NF, the down style things, using what you got around you.
Yep.
And I'm really enjoying that because why not?
So
Emma though, holy shit, man, they have so much diversity down there that you can use just with the wooded areas and such, man. Up here in Chicago, it's hard to utilize city stuff. So, off parole in June. My lease is up in January, and hopefully I'm getting out of the city in January. That's the goal. And then I'll be up in Chicago, time permitting.
And you'll be able to, you could spread your wings a little more out of the city, huh?
Yeah, for sure. I'm starting another MBSR class, mindful-based stress reduction class. Just deals with a lot of meditation and yoga and just mindfulness to help with, mental health and such. I've been working with Dixieland Dank a little bit. I need to write all these links down and get them up because these are all great people. Dixieland Dank. I did a show with him and he started a Discord. I really want to get that Discord link up. He's a great fucking guy. And he started a Discord for mental health and stuff like that and addiction. And him and I have been kind of talking and toying around. And hopefully in the future, we'll have a program set up.
Oh, that'll be cool.
We can have people come out and take some courses, learn holistic ways of bettering themselves to better the community.
Yeah, I see Dixieland Dank around a good bit, and they seem to always have a positive message in the community. That's pretty cool. And again, we'll try to maybe get a link up to it, so maybe even just the Instagram or something. Then they can go from there and do a little digging for sure.
Yeah, I'll grab my phone up right here and.
Cool. While you're doing that, we'll slide over here. We got Rowdy and Sprite.
Yeah.
So they both got their cameras on. Let's start. Rowdy, you're first in line here as far as how they have it laid out for me. So we'll start with you, buddy. If you got your ears on, talk to me, please.
I hear you. I'm here. I was just muted because I didn't want to interrupt anything. But yeah, harvested 80 aces. So now I got replants in the 4x4. That's Banana Daddy autos in the back there. And then up front, I got two Big Bruce feminized.
Nice.
And I just topped this one.
I was gonna say that one looks like it's been topped. You did it. It was a well-pronounced topping too. It looks like, yeah, because there's a hell of a. You left a up there. You won't have much of a plant John on that one.
I like to leave a nub in there so that it don't split later as easily.
Yeah,
you know how it cracks in half sometimes. I hate that.
When you hear that catastrophic break, it's like your stomach sinks a little bit, especially depending on what time of the grow it is. I've had that happen. We always try to, if we're going to pull them ones down on the side now, we try to super crop them a little bit with the fingers and then kind of bend them over. Let's see, who's this?
I made this grain table and I used this plumb liner that black stuff, just staple it around the edges to make it waterproof, so I could, fill it with water and have it drain. And I had leftover, and I was like, I saw someone grow, and they had these things, so I made this, and it's gonna go on. Yeah. Did I lose you?
Yeah, no, you're good.
No,
I'm
we're
just,
just
Oh,
taking
okay.
off on the beauty.
I'm taking it all in, man. It looks good.
It's just
this
pond
is
liner.
It's pond liner leftover that I had, and I just cut it into a circle and put a
That's a
thread, and I
great
just started doing this right now. And it's gonna help keep the top moist, and I just noticed I had a feeder root right here, and that's kind of the whole point of it.
Hell yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
So I want to protect those
Yeah, that's a
love
good
stuff
idea,
like that.
from
man.
the light and stuff.
Your plant looks like it's loving life. All them plants did good. You got a bunch hanging up. Oh yeah, there they are.
Yes.
There's Amy. She's smelling like chlorophyll. I can't stand the smell of chlorophyll, so you'll figure out what the smell is later. But right now, I can't stand it.
Rowdy, how long did your Amy flower?
I harvested it like the 3rd or 4th day of week 10.
Okay.
So I
'Cause I'm at
definitely
8
went to
now.
the end of week 9. Yeah. I could have went longer, honestly. I probably could have went to the beginning of week 11.
That's what this one is.
I may not have written down the right flip date.
I hate when I do that.
I was gonna write it down, but then I got high.
Yeah. You know what happens, Rowdy? I always say, I need to write this down. I flip today. Then what happens is like 11 days later, I finally get around to it. And I'm thinking, what day was that? It's got to be right around this time. That's why it's nice to have some of the grows are on the timeline with CFC. So I know like the tent that we had on the screen there, that's October 1st flip. And it makes it a little easier, but I know what you mean. It's always get mixed up shit. I see how you cut that out. That was a good circle use right there.
Nice.
That's my template. That.
Yeah. That's pretty cool.
I got
Man.
a few more cut. Got more topping to do. I love these scissors, by the way. You know, I have so many of like these.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you got some of those kinds.
So which ones are
And
you?
like these,
Got
right?
some of those. They have pretty much same thing, different color. I don't like the
They're
round.
nice. But these are my favorite.
We got those, man. We got the orange
We
handle
have,
ones.
yeah, they're orange.
I got the exact same ones, dude. I bought many pairs. They're little.
They're the oldest ones that we have. They've actually last the test.
Excuse me.
These ones are like $8 or whatever, and they're worth $8. Really, they're not that great. But this one, I paid like $25 for it. But it's my favorite one. And
Yeah.
if I would buy it again.
They're so sturdy, and that spring is so strong. The only thing,
and the action is so smooth. It's effortless. Like there's friction on the other one.
They'll get wobbly. We've had ours so long, Rowdy. I've cleaned them up with alcohol so many times, and the only thing that kind of can get you with those is they have a little bit thicker of a blade, but I don't really mind that. Some people don't like that thicker blade, but shit, I use them. Them are my favorites. And if you go real deep, the ones we have, if you go real deep, they have like a more of a serrated blade for the heavier cuts. So you can do the fine trimming at the end, and they're heavy duty, man. They hold up. Boy, I want to say hello to D. Gross some Booth. Just joined the show there in the panel, and I wanted to make sure
He's
to
full
welcome.
of it. I just want to say D's full of it. He doesn't grow food. I saw. You're not growing food.
Too kind.
You're growing killer shit. I saw.
Oh, dude. Aw.
You
too kind.
blew
Thank
his
you.
cover.
I'm trying to flip my camera, and I'm trying to talk to chat, and I'm getting everything wrong, and I don't want to disconnect stuff. And I want to show you what's going on, and I'm missing your garden, and I'm like,
It's
crap.
tough, man. It's tough. That's what I
I'm
said.
done, so you didn't miss much. My garden is perfect stage.
No.
We'll come back to you here in a second, Riley. Let's give.
Can I go?
What's that?
Can I go back to YouTube?
Yeah,
chat?
you can go now.
Can I please go?
You're dismissed.
God, we love when you
All
come
right.
on with us, buddy.
Yeah, we love you, Rowdy. Let's check out.
Love
Thank you,
all
Rowdy.
guys. Thanks.
How do I turn my camera? Our scrub looks nice. Hey, DP, nice to see you.
Can we look at Scrubs? He's been waiting for a while.
I got it.
Yeah, we're
Yeah,
getting
Oh, you're good.
let's take care
I
of
got
other
all
people
day.
He just
first.
left.
Look at
Art
that.
Man, all that stuff's look good. Seed Man, like that stuff was great. Or Seed Person.
Yeah, we're going to
Sorry.
go all around the horn here.
Thank you.
There's the Amy. And then,
Which
Oh yeah, Skunk
that's,
Ape. Skunk Ape just hooked up some Amy Aces and some of the violet. I'm not even trying to say that fucking word.
Violet
Beauregard.
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 There we
We
go.
just-
I'll say it for you. Thank you.
We just-
Yeah, I actually, I
We just
forgot some.
germinated some of those yesterday, 7-1. We put five Violet Beauregards down and 4 cracked open in like 10 hours. And so
Oh, yeah.
we're gonna see how they go. We got some sex tests. But yeah. What's up, Scrubs? What was
You
under
got, you
the
got somewhere.
This one's, like you said, I hit Tal up with the Ophelia.
Oh yeah.
He had some OG Chem Dog blueberry.
Oh, that sounds
Yeah. Yeah, that one sounds nasty. Time Wreck crossed with blueberry.
my wife likes
But these are some. Yeah, I've never had it, so I'm anxious to try that one. These two cuts actually they got a really cool backstory. The guys that bred it 20 years ago are dead now, but somehow their sons kept it alive, and there was a pretty cool backstory to it. And it's cool that I got my hands on it. Most of the guys that are 35 to 40 years old around here remember smoking Silver Pearl in high school and haven't seen it since then, and so it was pretty cool to get my hands on it. But and then this one's Black Sugar that one of those other guys bred.
wonder if that's like a Black Dominion crossed with something,
That's the thing that I only got a little bit of backstory on the one. I was like, it's the guy I got the cuts from. His is still in veg, and the whole basement stinks. So it's he said that was one of the things they liked about it was that it stunk during veg.
Nice. Yeah, that's always a good sign, right?
Yeah, and then here's
Stink.
the
And veg turned out to be a male. I was so upset.
Yeah. Oh, really? Okay. So that's maybe an indicator, huh? Look at
I
that.
have no idea, but I was highly upset. That thing stinks so good.
Oh, they're always
That's English right there.
they grow so vigorous and get jumped off the start so fast and shit. You're like, yeah, this one's going to be a ripper. Then you find out it's the male.
Ooh.
oh yeah.
That's a beautiful plant there, Scrubs. What's that?
Rob, that looks good.
That's that Bruce banner that I did for the plant training grow challenge, the Ultimate Warrior.
You trained her well. That looks great.
Oh, that's the Ultimate Warrior.
Wow.
band. I remember.
Yeah.
Boy, that thing's come a long way.
Wow.
He's a chonker.
Yeah. I killed all 3 of these clones. I mean, there was just a stem with one little leaf on it, and somehow they came back.
Isn't that cool tale? Huh?
There's a will, there's a way.
Yeah, I got all 3 of those at the same time.
Well, some of
But
those.
you were asking earlier about the seed from clone ratio of what they can hold. I mean, this one's seed, those 2 are clones, and then the other one's a clone. So I think it's all in how you train them and work with them.
I agree. That sounds very
But
logical.
the genetics as well. But
Yeah.
What week are you on for those in the for that tent?
Both of these I flipped for the same October. I think I was either October 1st or the day before. So
Okay.
these should be finishing.
Yeah, that back left one definitely looks like it's rounding third.
Yeah. But this Amy, like he said, the buds are just unreal.
Yeah.
Oh, it's starting to get the pills on there. That's nice looking, yeah.
But like Tal said, like the dinosaur leaves describes them best, just the way they're cut.
Well, the American one's in the chat right now, and he's giving you the thumbs
Is
up.
he?
Looks great. Yep.
Yeah, man, he's got some good work, man.
We got to get, yeah, for sure. I put the link up there for the Breeders Collective, where you can find Smiley, you can find Tao, you can find a whole bunch of good people that are in the community. And the Breeders Collective is just a good group of people, man.
Oh yeah, I'm excited to run that hippie goggles from Smiley.
Hey, we dropped some of those yesterday too, man. Wow, that's so ironic that you brought up 2 strains in a row. We happened to drop both of them yesterday.
Yeah, that was one of the ones that the cat got to. I had 3 of them going, and the cat.
Oh, man.
That wasn't yesterday. That was
The day before, maybe. I don't know. I can't remember.
Yeah, it was Friday. We did it on Friday, day after Thanksgiving.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, they're still up.
On Thanksgiving, you know, being
Yeah.
thankful that we had those awesome seeds from people that we highly respect. And we got to drop them on Friday.
Hell
Cheers,
yeah.
People's Garden.
Hell yeah, Eagles Gardens Cup. That's pretty cool. No,
Is that-
yeah, Joe Dirt said life's a garden, dig it, make it work for you, right, man?
That's right.
Rowdy always likes that saying. Hey, D Gross and Booth, man. Did you get to figure out there it is, Violet Beauregard. Yep. Man.
Yeah, my wife's due to have a girl in February. I think I'm going to drop them the day she's born because her name's going to be Violet.
Oh, I love it.
That's
Beautiful.
Oh yeah.
That is beautiful.
Congratulations on your wife's pregnancy, man. Hopefully everything is very healthy for mother and child from the whole way through.
Indeed.
Oh yeah, they seem to be doing good. So.
Amy Aces.
Lots to celebrate.
Violet, what a great name. That's cool, man. That just made
Yeah,
me-
because my little girl, when we found out my wife was pregnant, we asked her, if we have a boy, what do you want to name it? And she said Purple.
Ah,
And we said, all right, well, what if it's a girl? And she said Purple. I said, all right, well, we're not naming the kid Purple.
So let me get this straight. Now, Tal will be able to go and tell people that people are actually naming children after his strains. Now, how much weight does that carry? Huh?
That's a lot of pressure.
Yeah, it is.
No, I just figured we'd start whatever day she's born, we'd start the day with Violet. So.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Better raise them right.
And I can't wait to follow up with that.
You'll have to, yeah, that's cool, man. Hopefully you'll be able to share with us. It's going to be a busy, busy time in your life for sure, but maybe you can drop it.
Yeah.
We
Hey,
definitely
you should save 1 nug of that and like freeze it and keep it until she's 18 and then let her smoke it.
There you go.
21. You gotta go 21. I go
Or
21.
whatever.
Just 'cause-
21,
Yeah,
whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
I'm not.
yeah. I would
married to
I
your
would much
advice at
rather
all.
do that than hand her beers. So.
Wouldn't that be
Like,
something?
here,
I feel the same way.
Do you think the 21-year-old bud would still be good or
I don't know. That'd be the test. How it could you'd have to do it a couple different ways to see if one of them actually worked.
I think we've
Make
had
it into
others-
hash.
Temple ball.
we've
Yeah,
had
there you go. Just
Yeah,
turn it into
Violet's
hash.
Temple Ball. That's a good idea.
Yeah,
That's-
like
There you go.
temple ball. Good idea.
I like the way this is going.
Wow. That might be the best stuff she ever
It's cured.
gets to experience.
Yeah, 21-year-old hash.
wow.
And you know what like the provenance of the story behind she might want to save some of that
Yeah.
too. I mean, that's what a legacy there. That's some
I dropped
great
2 seeds.
ideas there. Wow.
That's pretty cool, man. D, we can't get your camera to work. If you push on
I can get my front camera to me. How do I spin it around?
If
Tech
you
support.
cover up the thing and there should be a picture of a camera with like a circle arrow on it, and you click that and it should turn it around. Yeah, like if you touch the screen right now, some stuff should come up, and then it should have a
It's at the top of the screen.
But,
I struggled.
I think we
I
got
struggled
it,
with
yeah.
that yesterday.
There you go.
I think we got it. All right, let's see.
Awesome.
Thank you. We
You're welcome.
slow.
You're welcome.
Hey, it's
Could you
All right.
look at me giving technology advice? I'm sitting here proud as a game rooster right now, man.
So we're going to killing fields. We'll start with. That's probably not gonna make it.
no.
Plant killer.
Oh, that thing's good.
Water it. You'll see.
Hey, give it a little
There's
bit.
potential. There's potential.
Yeah, she's not quite done yet.
No, you hit it with some water, man. Give
Can
it
we have-
24 hours.
I watered yesterday.
And water
It
it
was,
again.
it seemed to be didn't like the last watering, and I let it dry out like with the others.
Have you ever tried to
And,
double cup?
Yeah, I've this is the first time I'm not double cupping it, but
Okay.
I watered
Take your
them
finger and
yesterday.
scrape the top of that because it looks hydrophobic on the top of that soil. And then, is it wet underneath
Yeah,
there?
it's
I
dry.
would break that top layer up a little bit and then water it again
All right. It's pretty dry.
because the water will just run right off the top of that if you don't break it up.
Mm-hmm.
At least in my experience.
And then it'll just run right out the bottom.
Yep.
Hey, can we ask if you can turn your phone sideways? I don't know if it works on all.
Heck
phones.
yeah.
There you
Yeah.
go. That kind of
Thank
makes it-
you.
Thank you, man. I tell you, them other plants look like they're going pretty good in there.
So, got this one. So these are the same age as the four I'm flowering. I picked the best four to up pot, and I kept these behind. I haven't done any clones. I might try and do clones, although they're pretty purpley stem stuff, so it's not the greatest start if I was to do clones. But I might get lots of nodes on them later, so I don't know. We'll see. So in the meantime, I got like
Foliar?
I haven't done any spoliars.
What I was going to ask was a light foliar spray.
Yeah, got a little Epsom salts in there. Be looking good.
Just water and Epsom salt.
Yeah, water and Epsom salts work good. You can use like a you want to use some soap nuts or something too as a surfactant. Help kind of stay on the leaf a little bit.
What dosage would you recommend for like a gallon of water? I always heard like a quarter teaspoon.
I go a little bit heavier.
It's heavier for foil.
I'll go a little bit heavier. I'll use probably like a tablespoon for.
Okay.
Did you say for a gallon or how much?
For a gallon, yeah. I was just
Yeah.
curious. I've read a couple different things.
Yeah.
What, a tablespoon?
Mhm.
Okay, cool.
I do myself. I got this handout when I was at one of the conventions for some aminos from Pride Lands or something like that. It's supposed to be pretty effective. I'm gonna get that. But it's got all sorts of beneficial aminos in there.
Now, these are all strains you created. I think you just mentioned
Yes.
we were doing all.
Yes.
You created those strains, and
Oh hell yeah.
you know, I know you recently harvested some and had it off to your left there in a tent, if I recall correctly.
Yeah, that's I'll show you day 12 of drying.
Oh man, I was.
I'll go there shortly. Let's go right over here to the flower tent. These are
I didn't mean to cut you off over the other tent, man. Look at that.
oh no, it's all good. I was planning to come here anyway. There's more to see here.
Knocked my coffee ahead of my mouth a little bit. Oh, look at it. You got some, looks like some exponential growth there. You're getting some light coloring in your new growth.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Good call.
Turn. Okay. So
That one's good.
let me see. Let's start with this one.
Over there.
So I'll figure it out.
Looking good.
Yeah, man, there's a nice training.
Do you have to support later on? Do you do scrog or are you tying the like cat or yo-yos or anything?
I have no idea. These are hopefully going to be my first non-dead plants. I'm trying to keep them healthy and grow, and I would like to scrog for yield, but I don't want to have my plants fixed in place. So the last time I flowered these, or was the first time that I flowered them, it's 2 different strains, and I didn't quite get the stretch that I wanted, so I'm learning to train it out and up. So I'm trying to get some colas for the first time, so I don't know how they're going to respond or what's going to happen, but I'm learning from all these, and we'll know better for next time.
Looking good, man. That's gonna have tons of tops.
Yeah, it looks like that front plant there is going to dominate as much canopy space as you'll let it. You know, it's really good.
That thing take over without it.
Yeah, man, it's going to push your door down and everything else.
Please do. Well, I'm saving the best one for last. Here's the third.
Oh, look at that.
And
we'll
see how it goes.
Flowered.
I'm sorry?
When was your last topping before you flowered?
Maybe 2 weeks ago at this point.
Okay.
It was the end of the first or second day of flower that I actually cleaned them up. I didn't clean them up ahead of time. I'll clean them up a little bit more, and here's the best one.
That's good.
Yeah, that's going on nice.
This one I think is the best one.
There's no light hitting that pot. Not from directly
Looks
above.
happy.
Yeah.
Very happy.
And the thing was, last week when I watered them, I'm trying to not overwater and underwater. I'm really good at both of that shit. And last week, one of them needed it. The other one didn't really. And it was like late at night. And I'm like, you know what? Tomorrow, they'll all need it. And I held off. When I opened the tent the next day, they were all sagging, drooping. And then I gave them all like 3 liters of water. And then 2 of them were overwatered because of it. This one was really happy. And this one was like, okay. So I got to figure out how to water better.
I'll tell you, coming in, that's one of the hardest things to do. I killed a whole 20-gallon plant before. Everything was going great. I vegged it out for damn near 2 months, you know, and transplanted it to a 20-gallon. That was the largest thing I had used up to that time. I ended up overwatering it, right? I thought the top layer was kind of dry and such. The tote that I was using wasn't very good for drainage as it was. And watering can really be tricky sometimes, especially on the medium that you're using. It can be unforgiving.
And that's what kills everything. I find for me, like the discoloration and stuff is I overwater, and the delicate root hairs that suck up the nutrients get destroyed, and then they don't get the nutrients that they need.
What do you use nutrients?
I'm using like living or amended soil stuff, but I'm using bottles. Green Planet mostly. I was reusing some soil, and some friends are like, dude, just set yourself up for success and do some fresh stuff. So I have a whole bunch of fresh stuff, and I'm combining and whatever, and I'm figuring.
The world is yours, man, in terms of how you want to feed them and what mediums you want to use. You know, is any one better than the other? I don't care, as long as you get some good shit from it, right? Me myself, I love organics and the ease of it. Just throw some top dressing on there and water it in, and you're good to go. But other people like cocoa for the watering ease. You know, you can't really overwater cocoa.
I'm thinking I would be a Synganics type of person because it's in the bedroom, and I don't want to risk any bugs. So it's like no bugs for me are good. None, never. Thank you. Please, never any bugs. Everything has its place, I guess, but this is in my bedroom. This is where the magic happens, and I don't find anything magical about bugs, at least not for me.
I feel the same way, man. I try to keep most of that outside. You know, for me personally, and I know this doesn't extend to everybody, but I like to do the cocoa inside with sterility, and then outside we got a compost pile we've been working on for 2 years, and we got some raised beds that we actually tore down this year, and we're going to move them closer to the house and make them bigger because our compost pile is getting bigger and bigger, and we're going to plant a lot more stuff.
Yeah.
We're going to get
We added an old compost pile with a new one, and yeah, it's been fun.
yeah, it's pretty fun stuff, but I like to keep that outside and the sterility inside. Plus, I gotta say, I enjoy mixing the nutrients and my little science lab I have in there. And it's like I get in there, I mix them, I have fun with the plants. And you know, some people will say like, "Oh, it's not as good as bud because it's not grown in soil." But if that is true, I'm willing to do whatever. You know, I like my way of growing. I don't find it to be inferior to any other buds that I've smoked, at least not in a long time, you know. So but I think it's you know, some people will definitely argue that point and be like, nah, there's a huge difference, and I respect that opinion wholeheartedly. But I like our way of growing. It's fun, man. It keeps me involved. I get to, you know, manage the res, mix up the newts and train the plant, and there's always something to do. And you know, for our scale and everything, I like that. I feel like sometimes when you're in a smaller, tighter space like closets or tents, that you know, you can get to a certain point where if you want to go straight water, you're going to have like a 50 or 60 gallon pot. And sometimes in a small space, that can dictate your plant count and how long you have to veg for and the return on your cost per gram and things like that. So oftentimes I find that if you're trying to grow medicine consistently, that, you know, hydroponics has its pluses, and I like it. I like doing that. So, but you know, that's our little thing on why we do it. But
Ooh, sounds nice.
That just that preparation period you're talking about, that could be like your that's your like zen time. You know? That's when you're zoning in to get in there and do your plant work. So absolutely, that's huge. And for everybody, it varies.
yeah,
And there's so many different ways out there to grow good fucking medicine. You know.
yeah, that's the important message there, is that whatever fits for you, whatever makes you want to get in your garden and do more. If that's cultivating microbes and worms and all that shit, then by all means, man, wholeheartedly dive into that head first. It's great shit. And if you're like us, you like to mix your newts and keep your, you know, plants all balanced and figure out the chemistry of why, you know, the potassium silicate and how it works and why it does this in the res after so long and things like that's all fun stuff for us, man. And it's all different. But you know, one thing we always say here is we have people on that are like soil specialists like Tao and Smiley and even 7-1 there. It seems like you do a lot of soil and seed person. All these guys come on here, Scrubs grows outside, and they give us all this information about soil growing. And I'm thinking, I'm banking all this because I want to know, even though that's not what I do indoors, I want to know as much as I can so I can implement that in other areas in the future, because I have great hopes to be able to grow outside someday in stuff that we made, you know, that was only made with good table scraps and good wood from the actual woods, you know, and shit like that for carbon, and leaves that I know come from trees that weren't like sprayed, and just all kind of cool shit I think that we can input and have fun with. And that's very interesting, man. I've been learning a lot about fungi and how that shit works in the roots and how all the trees are connected and shit. And, you know, that's very interesting, isn't it?
It really is. It really is.
But
Yeah.
And that's the thing, man. You got to keep it fun. Keep it interesting. You know, this isn't something to stress you out.
No. And for a lot of us, I know birds of a feather, we're all a lot alike. So that quest for the knowledge, even though that might not be something I'm actually going to implement today, I'd like to know different things, like why like when we first started topping our plants, I'm like, why does it work? Why does it grow like that? You know, what's going on in there? And like, why is this too much light versus if I raise it 5 inches? All these things started coming in. And then it was curiosity runs wild. And it's like, I got to go digging for some answers here. And it just hasn't stopped. It actually gets worse and worse. And it's a good thing, though, I guess. You know, we try to find a healthy balance. And sometimes I don't. You know, I'm always into this. So
It was weird going and visiting like normal people
Normal people.
and like
Normal
don't have
people.
huge
Growers.
podcasts on all the time. You know, like I don't ever not have a podcast on trying to learn something pretty much. So like to go around people that don't have that going on 24/7, I was like, oh, this is how the other side lives. You know, kind of dive into this community, and that's what it is.
Yeah, man. We're gonna go back to D here real quick, man. He got them plants. I forgot about the other.
Yeah,
I
that,
totally slept on this.
yes.
I'm sorry. Go for it, D. What do we got? How many days was it again?
Day 12.
That's
Day
gonna be
12
dry.
drying.
They look nice. They look like a purplish blue with some fuzz going down. Did you get a chance to pluck one off and test it yet at all? I think
I tried a little bit from both. I rolled a couple, and I'm really impressed. It's
awesome.
the least boofiest I've grown yet,
Awesome.
and it's better than everything that I bought from the dispo that I was kind of impressed with. So yeah.
See, you gotta have to drop the boof, and it's just gonna be degrowth.
It's 2024.
Oh, you don't have a date on it, do you?
Yeah, the booth is because I don't know what I'm doing. I'm a plant killer. I feel like I'm successful in spite of myself. Once I know when I top this or fin here or bend there and feed there, this is my intention. This is what it'll get me. And have confidence in if I make this move, this is what's going to happen. Then it'll be like my grower's talent that got me there. Right now, or up until recently, I'm kind of like a blind person feeling my way to the finish line. So in spite of any mistakes I made, it's a weed and I'm able to finish. But I believe that there's like a Goldilocks zone for everything. That is, you can do it the right way, you can do it the wrong way. You'll still finish, but if you get everything like right, perfect, then I think you can just build on all your successes. But
I can
at least that's
appreciate.
what I'm going to try and find out. That's what I'm trying to find out.
I can appreciate your honesty, man, but you got to give yourself a little more credit. You did a great job there. You got some other plants coming up. These are strains that you made, and you know, you got to give yourself a little more credit. And I think if you go around the community, you're going to find a lot of people that you're able to talk to, help out, collaborate with, and yeah, man, it's you're always a positive influence in our chat and on our show and everywhere else I see you.
I try.
Yeah.
I'm a plant killer, and in spite of myself, I'm doing okay.
I gotta tell you, this
You
is
were the plant killer, I'd be worried.
Let me I'm gonna turn the camera off for a second and go over here. Show you some more hopes and dreams.
Hey, it's the booth thing, man. When I was locked up in prison, when somebody boofed something, they snuck it in prison by putting it in their prison wallet. And
yes, the prison wallet.
Here we go.
Your booth, I think someone's gonna finger.
Well, I love the praise.
Yeah.
So these are new. 2 didn't make it.
Little drainage trays.
These are 1/4 gallon little fabric things. They're really small, but they look freaking huge. And they're rolled down so I could like fill it up as it stretches. A lot of my seeds have been having the shell on them lately. So I'm thinking I haven't been putting them in deep enough. And so all these went in deeper than I ever did before, and 2 didn't make it. So like I said about the Goldilocks zone, you know, if I just get everything right.
Do you direct sow or do you germinate and
I soaked in water and got a tap root, and then I prop them in, make a little hole and drop them in.
What strain are those 2 right there?
They're either one or the other. I popped 4, 2 came up. I didn't bother labeling anything, and it's like, oh shoot. I think these 2 are the same though, but I'm not sure which one.
My wife can
We've-
tell you that we've oftentimes grown plants that were A, B, C, and D, or because I mixed up the things, you know, or we'd start out with them
Yeah.
marked, and then I would pot them up and mess everything up, and we might know one or two.
You know what we learned from that though? We are very good now at marking everything, marking it ahead of time, working together.
Checks and rechecks, huh?
Yeah. Hey, but hey, that's real life and that happens.
That's right.
Mhm.
Well, those other ones, man, how many days has it been? Now, have you given up total hope? It looks like these ones are a few days old, so you're kind of
Yeah, these are done. These are done.
okay.
Unlike the 3 in the cups in the other tent there, they started off as 5. So there's like two in a dry thing. Hopefully the water will get through to it. I'll try again and mess up the top a bit, and hopefully these will come.
Those are regs, right?
I used male pollen with a feminized plant. So they're
Yeah, it should be regs.
60-80% female.
Okay.
I don't think it works like that. I think they're just regs.
No?
You get 50-50 per seed.
See, that's something
Right.
that I don't really know. The Punnett square isn't something that I'm very versed
Yeah, if you
in.
got male pollen, it's XY. If you got female genetics, it's XX. And if you put those two together, then you get a mix of XY and XX. So it's males and females.
Gotcha.
I would fit my I don't know. My guess was like 3 X's and a Y or the other way around is my guesses. That's where I was basing my guess on. I haven't had any males from them yet.
Oh, okay. So you're about holy shit.
I've killed a few seeds, but I haven't had any males. So there's what 4, 8, there are about 15, 20 seeds so far.
Hmm.
4,
that's
8.
If it was male
10.
pollen, did you spray anything, or was it from a herm, or
No,
it was a male plant?
it was a male plant.
Huh.
Okay.
You're
And then it was
really
a
lucky.
feminized medical seeds. So, and the girls that had just started to flower, I have some male pollen in the freezer from an Irie Genetics Jack the Ripper F24 or something like that. So hopefully I saved that pollen nice. And my pink lemonade crossover here is frosty and smelly and wonderful. And I would love to get some Jack the Ripper in her.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool, man. Yeah,
I just got goosebumps.
I hope that pollen stored well for you, man, because I've heard
too.
you know, that's kind of important for it to be viable. It has to be stored right. And I think some people were adding, like, I don't want to say a desiccant, but like rice or something to kind of keep it from getting too moist.
Moisture.
Yeah, like when you pull it out of the freezer, don't you have to like not open the package until it comes to room temperature? And I forget, there was a few things, but I never did it. These are just things that I was heard along the way, man, and I thought might be a point of interest, you know.
There wasn't enough pollen. I was more successful previously, and I haven't stored any and brought it out. So I know I have to defrost it ahead of time and let it thaw out before I open the package up. And I put it in like 3 or 4 different packages so I can try several times.
Yeah, cool. That's smart. Good idea, man. That's a damn good idea.
So we'll see.
Yeah. Well, I want
I've
to.
I
also
don't
heard
want to
if
grow
you
any
mix
more
it with-
males.
If you mix it with a little bit of flour, doesn't that help you stretch it so that you can you spread it out? It's not all concentrated or something. I don't know.
That sounds.
I may have done that too. I'm not quite sure.
I'd like to get into breeding at some point, so I try to listen to that stuff as much as I can.
I think it would be a lot of fun, man. Especially, I always tell people, like, if you had an ailment and you found the perfect stuff that kind of goes to healing that, you could kind of work with that and find the best shit for you. If I had the space, I think that would be awesome adventure. You know, if you have space and time to put into that, hell yeah, that would be so much fun. But I do want to say, we're coming up on our 3rd hour in about 6.5 minutes here. We got 6 people here with us, and I wanted to make sure everybody gets their time to give their shout outs, to plug any links or codes or Instagram or YouTube channels that they want to plug. And we can go ahead if everybody's cool with that. We'll start around the horn. I'll go from backwards how they're lined up on my screen. So actually that starts with seed person 1.
Cool. Thanks for having me on, guys. I appreciate being able to come and get a little bit of an ego boost, I guess. Show off my shit a little bit, and, share what I'm learning. So I'm seed person 1 on Instagram if anybody wants to see more pictures or memes.
Not on Instagram.
We always appreciate you coming by, seed person, and sharing with us. And you're definitely a pillar in the show that we always look forward to. And that goes for a lot of people, and we definitely fit that category. Next in line, we have Scrubs and Shrubs.
Yeah, thank y'all for doing this every weekend and every Wednesday. I'm just Scrub Shrubs on Instagram, and that's it.
Okay, well, we appreciate that, man. You come on a lot. I'll never forget the episode with the bud washing and all that crazy outdoors. It's cool with all the memories we built up here over the last year. And you guys have both been a part of that, along with everybody else that's here in chat and our other guests here as well. Next in line will be D. Gross and Booth.
I'm learning to grow. You can watch my successes and failures as I get there, and I hope to get there. I want my own indoor promised land. I think we all deserve it.
Cheers to that.
I'm on YouTube, not on Instagram. I wish I could say hi to more people.
No Instagram.
No.
You have YouTube though, and people can if you see you commenting in chat, they can jump on and link up with you there. And I love what you're doing, man. I like seeing your garden. I like the fact that you make your seeds. I like the fact that you're honest about what you know, what you don't know. I think you can give yourself a little more credit. And I really do, man.
Hey, Uncle Rick.
Take a lot away from you, man, and that's for sure. So thank you, D. And we just getting slammed with a massive storm here. Lightning, and it's hitting the windows like ice balls, man. So yeah,
stay warm and don't lose your power.
I'm hoping
my cat's freaking out. I gotta go find her. Actually, I'm kind of worried, but thank you, everybody.
Enjoy your day, everybody. Thank you.
Bye, Crispy.
And then hold on, we're gonna keep going here. We still have to go. Thank you. Go find our kitty. She might be outside.
DP.
Up next is 71 DPO.
Gotta say the cats are important. Gotta say the kitties. That's for sure. Yeah, you find me at 71DP0 on Instagram. I have a show on Future Cannabis Project 2. It's kind of all over the place right now on when it is. So it's called Saturday's Mental Breakdown. I started a YouTube page not too long ago for that show. Trying to get that out there. It's all about mental health and holistic ways of helping with that and addiction. I don't have anything on my YouTube channel. I'll start posting content there soon enough one of these days. But yeah, just Instagram and over there, Future Cannabis Project. I've been wanting to come on here and say hello for a while. Really appreciate what you guys do for the community and just the overall good vibes you put out there.
Shrubs, Sacred, Tao.
Thank you. It's crazy, man. There's so much hell pounding my window right now. I almost can't hear. My wife's running around screaming. Oh my goodness. Yeah. All right. Let me see here. He was just saying hi to Tao in the chat, and I was trying to type something out here. And thank you for the sentiment, 71DPO. Everybody, please go check out the channel and follow DPO and everybody that's come up here. You get to see that a lot of you share from day one all the way through on Instagram and other places, and it's fun to you can pick up tips and all this. Collaboration is the key. So last but not least, the guy that started off the show and was nice enough to schedule this and come out and show us all of his stuff and invite us into his personal space for the first time. And we appreciate that, Art Man. And you want to tell everybody where they can find you? Make sure you check the link for Art Man's YouTube and subscribe and yeah, tell them.
I've been hanging out over at Cocoa for Cannabis. If anybody have any questions or comments about my grow, I'm in the chat a lot, and I also belong to Percy's Grow Room, the British grow site. So that's where I am. And I appreciate you guys letting me show anyway. That was great. It was fun.
I gotta get a new light, so I gotta go over there and holler at you, Smot, and Doctor.
Yeah.
You know, I gotta holler at y'all. See which one will best suit my needs, because lighting is important.
No,
Yes.
Sure is.
most definitely.
What?
It's been a long journey, man, trying to figure out exactly what you're asking. Like what's the best light for my space, my application, and for my budget. And I'd be more than happy to help go over that. Like I've learned everything from Doc, so I give my credit to him. He's been patient and kind of helped me along with the light science the last few years. And it's been a fun journey. And I really take pride in some of the stuff that I've learned and comprehended and am able to explain to other people. And it's a lot of fun. So if you have any lighting questions from anyone out there, please get a hold of us. And we'd be more than happy to help you and steer you in the right direction. And there's a grow light calculator at Cocoa for Cannabis if you're interested in poking around yourself. But we're more than happy to try and help and do what we can. So for sure. Thanks to all of our guests today. And hopefully you'll check in with us on Wednesday. We do another show. And I think that's it for today, right?
Yeah. So I feel like I saved my cat from a hailstorm, man. That was crazy. Yeah, she's good.
Okay. We're all safe.
Good.
I feel like a close call, but yeah, sorry about that earlier, folks. It was awesome hanging out here with y'all. You turned a gloomy day into such a cool, bright one. I enjoy my Sundays here with all of you. I can't express that enough. The gratitude I have for all of you who keep showing up every week after week and hanging with us and helping us learn and sharing your journeys. To everyone here that came on today, Art Man, starting with Art Man,
Yeah.
and everybody that came after that, we have lots to celebrate. Violet coming into the world, that was really awesome news.
Purple.
Yeah. it's y'all were so amazing. I have big mad love for y'all and big respect to go with it. I love everyone.
All right.